Part 21. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 201. Hello, Miss Si. It was RM's Daxia district director who called. I have something I want to ask you. I don't know if it's inconvenient for you. Convenient. Si Fu leaned up, made a gesture to Ning Luiao, and went to the bushes beside him. Speak. It's like this. Before Mr. Yu recommended you, RM also had contact with several celebrities. The director said, if you sign them, they are also the beauty line in Daxia district, which is different from your global line. Si fucking nodded. Well, I know. Her boss is really atmospheric. One of the previous candidates wants to be our brand ambassador. The director asked, I'm also from Daxia, my name is Su Jianian, do you know him? Is he your friend? If it's your friend, we can consider giving him one as appropriate. The brand master of the ready-to-wear line. Si fucking narrowed his eyes. Across the bushes, she saw Su Jianian sitting beside her. His smile was impeccable, no illusions could be seen. No. Si fucking snorted, if you need to ask my opinion, I can recommend a few better ones for you. Miss Si, please speak. I have a student named Xiaoyu, who is currently studying at Glen and is in need of a luxury brand endorsement. Si fucking took it easy. I have a friend named Zhang Changning, she and I belong to a girl group, both of them have a very good image, and I believe they meet the selection criteria of your brand. Okay, the director responded immediately, since it is the person recommended by Miss Si, there is absolutely no problem. I will have someone contact them. At the end of the call, Si fucking sent Xiaoyu a message. I gave you the whole job. Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu, thank you, brother. She went back to the bonfire and completely ignored Su Jianian on the side. Ching Ching, is something wrong? Ning Luiao was concerned, do you need help? It's alright. Si fucking said lazily. Has the assistant director revealed what tomorrow's level will be? No. Ning Luiao lowered her voice, but you have to be prepared. I passed by the director's tent today and heard the director indignantly tell others that he didn't trap you, so he wrote his name upside down. Originally, there was an acting level tomorrow. The director is ready to punish Si fucking. As a result, Tang Haikyu's phone call today caused him to lose the light of life directly. Don't worry. Si fucking didn't know what modesty was. As long as I don't go into the kitchen, I can do anything. Su Jianian smiled, Mr. Si is really cute. Si fucking finally turned her head. She smiled and said politely, Mr. Su, I need to remind you that you'd better not have any other ideas. Su Jianian's smile didn't change. Mr. Si also sees that I'm chasing Mr. Si. Now that there is no camera, he is fortunate to have picked out the words more clearly. There are also many female stars chasing him in the circle. Su Jianian is very confident in his appearance. Si fucking's ability to survive is very strong, but no matter what, she's just an 18-year-old girl with little experience, so she's easy to handle. Ning Luiao's eyes widened, startled. Su Jianian is a top-notch popular man, and he is in the rising stage of his career. How can he be in love and destroy his future? Oh, Si fucking propped his head up, I've been vaccinated against rabies, so I won't be afraid of you. Su Jianian's smile narrowed slightly. Chi shunning on the side also heard it. She pursed her lips. Su Jianian's fans are basically girlfriend fans. If this news got out, Si fucking would not be caught. She thought about it, and had a calculation in her heart. Su Jianian was hitting a wall all night. He returned to the tent, exhausted. It seemed that Si fucking was not as easy to deceive as he thought. Have to switch to a different method. Su Jianian sat down and looked at the agent, who frowned. How is it? Called back. The agent shook his head. They said they did ask the spokesperson for their opinion. The spokesperson said they didn't know us and recommended someone else. It seems to be completely missed. Su Jianian sighed, RM is a brand from the Western continent after all. It is estimated that the global spokesperson they hired this time came from Glenn. Brokers agree. Only Glenn's best actor and queen can let RM hand over all the global spokespersons. It's true that Sujianian is top-notch in domestic entertainment, but no one knows him internationally. There is still a long way to go. I'm leaving first, the agent said. Since there is no hope for RM, I can only help you to look at other brands. Alas, it's a pity. Sujianian nodded. It's a pity indeed. RM's endorsement can help him enter the international market. Which artist from inside entertainment doesn't want to break into Glenn? Sujianian pressed his eyebrows, and the phone rang at this moment. He paused before picking up. Hello. I watched your live broadcast. You and that SI fucking are too close. The other party was very aggrieved. Although you are using her, you must promise me that you can't like her anymore. Sujianian said, funny, don't worry, no, she is just a tool to protect you. When the time is right, I won the award and we will disclose it. Now he still has to rely on fans, and when he transforms into an actor, he won't have so many concerns. 1/3 of the recording of 66 Days to Survive has passed. The first episode of the show just ended. With Su Yang's participation and interaction, SI fucking has not surprisingly gained another group of fans, already approaching 15 million, which are all live fans. The number of people watching live broadcasts is also on the rise. I want to see what else is amazing about this woman, and see how many times she can make me kneel. After watching SI fucking, I realized that variety shows can also create gods. Wife. When can you ask for another rain, or you can ask for money from the sky? SI fucking. If she had this ability, would she still need to be a part-time worker? As the recording progressed, the program team also welcomed the third batch of flying guests. Ching ching, Lu Ningsheng took off his sunglasses and ran over. Meet again, you look much better. SI fucking smiled and shook hands with her. Mr. Lu. Her friendship with Lu Ningsheng was not too deep, so she recorded several episodes of Youth. But every time Lu Ningsheng stood by her side and helped her speak up when she was in the midst of a cosmetic surgery. Good guy, there is a feeling that SI fucking knows people all over the entertainment industry. Last time it was Su Yang, this time it was Lu Tianho, who said that SI fucking has no connections. Gossip, Lu Ningsheng's vocal cords are broken. Haven't you seen her not having a concert for a year? She's going to die after this day. What kind of connections are there? Mo Yufei and Lu Ningsheng are college classmates, right? Still from the same company. Mo Yufei's development over the past 2 years has left Lu Ningsheng a few blocks behind. In addition to Lu Ningsheng, the flying guests in this episode also include Mo Yufei, who is also a singer. Today's recording was also very smooth. Originally, the director estimated that it would take at least 10 hours, but there was a bug in SI fucking's program, and it was over before half the time. The director just feels that life is bleak. And because they were going to see the next day, the program team booked a hotel in the town. After nearly a month of recording, the guests were finally able to rest. In the room, SI fucking turned on the computer, and just after logging into Oracle, he received a message from the official customer service. Customer service, God 9, I wonder if you have time to attend the Oracle offline player gathering in November? We are 9 years old. 9, not available. Customer service, wronged, God 9, people and other players want to see you so much, haven't you come out for 9 years? 9, it's useless to act like a spoiled child. Customer service, God, you are so heartless. SI fucking closed the dialogue indifferently. How did Oracle's customer service suddenly become so stupid? There is another email in the game mailbox, which is sent by the official group. SI fu poured it open. Hashtag Oracle's 9th anniversary theme song will be released soon. Hashtag Players are all guessing which singer the Oracle will invite to sing this time. Last year it was Su Yang. His voice was strong and he was not inferior to foreign singers at all, making the Western continent look up to Xia with admiration. But if there is no accident this year, I am afraid it will be played by singers from the West continent. Sci-fi reached out and knocked on the table, thoughtfully. The theme song for the third anniversary of the Oracle was composed and lyrics by her. Time flies, it's been so long. She can do business. Sci-fi closed the computer and went to the bathroom outside. The director specially ordered a dilapidated hotel, which has the only advantage of being clean, and many facilities are not available. Before Sci-fi went in, he heard a quarrel coming from inside. It was Lu Ningsheng and Mo Yufei. Lu Ningsheng's tone was cold. Mo Yufei, you are sick. It was you who entered Hiyu's room, and he and I didn't even have any contact at all. You asked me to take the initiative to admit it was me? What are you kidding? Mo Yufei took the route of the Jade Girl. But everyone in the circle knows that her private life is actually very messy, and she will change a boyfriend and a regular bed partner almost every week. Just yesterday, Mo Yufei was photographed entering Hiyu's room late at night and leaving in the early morning. The internet has already begun to speculate that the person involved is her, but it has been suppressed by the company and has not been revealed. Mo Yufei couldn't break her character. Not to mention that she is 10 years older than Hiyu. If it really breaks out, Hiyu's fans will not give up. Ningsheng, you should have known it long ago, your vocal cords are broken. If it weren't for your creative talent, the company would have given up on you. Mo Yufei's voice was gentle. It's not like you didn't take advantage of it, the company gave you. You strived to be the promoter of the men's team, Youth became a hit, and you got Glenn's attention, so you should be content. Lu Ningsheng looked sarcastic, so I'm going to stop this scandal for you. Don't say it's so ugly. I don't want to choose you, but who made us look similar? You happened to be in the hotel at the time. Mo Yufei chuckled. Anyway, you are going to retire, here. When you become an amateur, no one will pay attention to your life, which is what the company means. She said, blowing the hair from her lips, by the way, if your vocal cords are not broken, you are the person recommended by the company to apply for the Oracle anniversary song. I'm sorry, now this opportunity is in my hands. Oracle is the only game that every major artist wants to gain popularity. Su Yang's popularity is already very high, but because he sang the Oracle's anniversary song last year, a large number of fans have skyrocketed. Lu Ningsheng looked at her coldly. Hey, even if you don't take the initiative to say it, the company will help you. Mo Yufei laughed again. As soon as you finish being your flying guest, you can become your amateur as you wish. She didn't look at Lu Ningsheng again, and pushed open the bathroom door. Duduan and Sci-fi's eyes met. The girl's eyes were calm and dark. Mo Yufei quickly looked away. She was not worried at all if Sci-fi heard it. Give Sci-fi 100 courage, and he doesn't dare to talk nonsense outside. Sci-fi walked in and closed the door. Mr. Lu, are you alright? It's okay. Lu Ningsheng laughed instead. The entertainment industry is so simple that there are only interests left. I have no interests to gain, so I was given up. It is very common for celebrities to be pulled out to block each other. Sci-fi's eyes were deep. She thought I didn't know that my vocal cords were also her hands and feet. Lu Ningsheng sneered. I'm still pretending to be sisters here, but now I can't finally pretend to show my true colors. Forget it. She shook her head and said sincerely, Ching Ching, thank you too. The few packets of tea you gave me at the time made my voice a lot better. I will come to this variety show, it's also because of you. Too bad she still can't sing. Mr. Lewis thought for a while and said slowly, I would like to ask you to sing the theme song for the 9th anniversary of Oracle, okay. See you tomorrow, see you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 202. Lu Ningshen was stunned for a moment, but he couldn't react immediately. What? Sorry, I heard it all. Sci-fi tilted his eyelashes slightly and smiled. Mr. Lu has been in the entertainment industry for so long, and he never thinks his future will be ruined by such a thing, not to mention that you really have talent, it's just that you're just accidentally obsessed with the villain's way, you just lack an opportunity. The golden scale is not a thing in the pool, it will turn into a dragon when it meets the wind and cloud. I only know Lu Ningshen used to hold concerts all over the country and was used to seeing big scenes, so she couldn't calm down at this moment. Her eyes widened. Ching ching, you said you wanted to invite me to sing the anniversary of the Oracle song. The player group of Oracle is too large, even the princes and nobles of those principalities in the western continent are playing. In the past several IP joint names of Oracle, the joint names were all brands at the level of RM and LAN. Only LAN can perfectly reproduce several sets of top fashions in Oracle. It's a pity that these sets of fashions are not for sale at all, and they are still sealed in the showcase of the Oracle headquarters building. I have to say that the planner of Oracle is a genius. Even with the holographic game Eternal as an inspiration, it would be amazing to be able to invent an online game like Oracle that is suitable for all ages. Yes, I fucking frowned, but his tone was serious. I know someone from the Oracle headquarters, and I just saw the announcement of the official 9th anniversary song on the game today, so I'll send him a song. Recognize, Lu Ningshen's brain is not enough. Wait, ching ching, please let me slow down. She leaned against the wall and took a deep breath, suddenly covering her eyes with her hands, and finally weakened. She couldn't help choking, but my vocal cords. She went to well-known hospitals in various places, and the doctors said that she arrived too late. Her vocal cords were damaged. She could sing normally, but it was impossible to perform on stage. Lu Ningshen no longer had any hope. I know a doctor. I fucking held her shoulders and laughed. He is a good medicine man. Mr. Lu doesn't mind staying up late tonight to come with me. Lu Ningshen looked up, his eyes confused. She couldn't keep up with the speed of her boss. Lu Ningshen naturally didn't mind not sleeping at night. She followed Si fucking around left and right to a village. Zhang Changfeng had just come out of the field, and when he saw Si fucking, his expression froze. Miss Si. A reward for you, Si fucking said. My friend, the vocal cords are broken, can you fix it? Vocal cords. Zhang Changfeng put down his sickle and nodded slightly. Okay, come in. Zhang Changfeng was wearing a very ordinary hooded sweater, but it was hard to hide his handsome eyebrows and extraordinary appearance. Not ordinary people at first glance. Lu Ningshen watched the previous live broadcasts. She hesitated for a while, but still couldn't help asking, do you really call top medicinal herbs grass? Zhang Changfeng, They are all medicinal materials, each medicinal material has a name, and the classification is different according to the year, so it is more convenient to call it grass. Lu Ningshen's hands were shaking. For the first time, she had hoped that her vocal cords could be cured. She gasped, Ching ching, what kind of goddess does everyone know? Zhang Changfeng was expressionless. He also wanted to know who Si fucking knew. I'll take a look. Zhang Changfeng checked it out first. Your vocal cords started to have problems 2 years ago, you should have drank some poisonous water at that time. This poison is chronic and will only erode your vocal cords bit by bit, so you can't feel it at first. By the time you feel it, the vocal cords are permanently worn and it's too late for treatment. Lu Ningshen recalled for a moment, his eyes gradually became cold. Yes. It was also Mo Yafei who recently turned against her, and she realized that everything was done by Mo Yafei. Mo Yafei had been taking care of her when they were at the Hera Conservatory of Music. In just a few years, the person around him has become a poisonous snake. The entertainment industry is really a big dive at. But it's okay, it's only 2 years, Zhang Changfeng said lightly. If it's congenital, it really takes a lot of work. He took out a few more silver needles and sterilized them with fire. A few minutes later, Zhang Changfeng said, "Okay, the poison has been cleared for you, and you can fully recover after taking the medicine for a few days." Lu Ningsheng touched his throat, a little in disbelief. "Really, is it really okay? Is she finally able to stand on the stage of the concert again?" After trying her voice, Lu Ningsheng almost cried with joy when she found out that she was indeed able to soar again. She hugged Si, tears could not stop flowing. "Ching ching, thank you so much. It's alright." Si patted her on the back. "You have helped me too, it's a courtesy." Zhang Changfeng pursed his lips slightly, and his eyes deepened a little. Everyone in the players of Eternal said that a ghost doctor can only save after death. But she herself can live up to the word helpful. Si is really a complex of contradictions. "Zhang Shenai, this is the consultation fee, you must accept it." Lu Ningsheng calmed down his excitement, handed over a card, and thanked again. "Yes, it may not be enough, but this is all my current savings." She spent a lot of money to treat her vocal cords, and she didn't have any work for the past 2 years, so her life can be said to be in a state of hardship. "No, minor illness," Zhang Changfeng said lightly. "I didn't do much. It was only then that I remembered Lu Ningsheng, who casually gave away a medicinal herb worth 500,000 yuan. She silently took the card back. "What kind of village is this? I won't do you any favors." Si raised his eyebrows and said in a voice that only 2 people could hear, "You have already taken it from my teacher anyway." When she couldn't see how Fang Mingquan became brain dead. "Zhang Changfeng. But you did a good job, I won't care about you this time." Si waved his hand. "I'm also afraid that the old man will be crazy if he doesn't get my news, and other people have no chance and are not reliable. If you still want medicinal herbs, just go in and pull some, there are plenty in it, it's fine." Zhang Changfeng got up and replied, pinching his eyebrows. Looking at Fang Minkin's tragic situation, he didn't want to meet the Lord of Ghost Valley. Early the next morning, the program group went to sea. For the first time shooting at sea, the guests were quite excited. Yuan Heping leaned on the railing and looked at it. "The waterway of the Daxia dynasty used to go from here, right? This place used to be a battlefield." Yashenzai Yuan nodded. "Nanwuhe buried a lot of people. It used to be a real war, and now film and television dramas can't be made. It is said that Dongsan's Onmyoji failed to attack Dongzhou, so he chose to take a detour by sea." Si said calmly, "They once summoned 100 ghosts night walk here, so there is something wrong with the seabed. The existence of less undead. They keep floating, just waiting to pull the dead ghost into the sea. Mr. Mo, don't get so close there, be careful to be pulled down." It happened that the hull was tilted at this moment, and a huge wave hit the bow. Mo Yufi's body froze, she let out a scream, and then fell a few steps, unable to stand still, and fell to the ground. The other guests were a little surprised. The audience in the live broadcast room was also inexplicable. Mo Yufi is a little timid, normal people know that Si is telling stories. "And I have also heard this story." Mo Yufi screamed something, "It scared me. I suspect that it was Mo Yufi who entered Hiyu's room. I'm waiting for their company's press conference in a few days." "Mr. Mo, it's all fake, what are you afraid of?" Si stretched out a hand towards her and smiled slightly. "There is an old saying in Daxia, don't do bad things, don't be afraid of ghosts knocking on the door, as long as you don't do anything, how can the undead find you? What's more, this is where my Daxia soldiers are buried. With their suppression, who would dare to commit?" After Mo Yufi calmed down, her eyes turned gloomy. A rookie idol who is actually warning her? It's simply not knowing how to live or die. Do you think that if you have fans and traffic, you can be arrogant in the entertainment industry? It's really ignorant. I know. Mo Yufi stood up and smiled charmingly. I also know that things like the undead most like to find little girls to be dead ghosts. Teacher SI should be careful. It's okay SI fucking casually said, I played it before, but there's nothing scary about 100 ghosts. Nightwalk ghosts aren't scary. What's scary is people's hearts. Oops, my wife is talking nonsense again, I'll pull her down and hide in my golden room. You drink too much in front of you, this is obviously my wife. Stop talking, rival in love, draw your sword. Mo Yufi's face sank completely, and she didn't smile. Mr. Si really likes to tell jokes, and I have encountered all kinds of ghosts at night. Not to mention whether there is such a thing, is there really Si fucking who has not been swallowed by Begui? Mo Yufi didn't look at Si fucking anymore and walked to the side. She turned her back to the camera, turned off the microphone, and said with a sneer, Ning Sheng, our friends for many years, I didn't move you, but it doesn't mean I won't move others. You'd better remind this junior, don't mind your own business here, I don't know how he died by then. Lu Ningsheng smiled back, and his aura didn't fall in the slightest. This sentence is for you, don't die by then, and still jump around here. Humph Mo Yufi I didn't care, Ningsheng, I know you are arrogant, but you must also recognize the facts. When I get the qualification to sing the theme song of Oracle, you must congratulate me. After she finished speaking, she walked away gracefully. The shooting date at sea is not short, a full month. Tomorrow is another routine weekly holiday for the program team. This time, it was long, 2 days. After all, the recording took so long, and the guests were exhausted. Si fucking was finally free to log in to the Oracle. She used the GM administrator account and directly poked the administrator 000 in the list. Number 0 is the total planner, and the administrators all know it. This general planner can be said to be omnipotent, and sometimes he will also wander in the game. Si fucking typed the next line in the dialog box. 009, there's something, I'm going to your headquarters in the afternoon, the theme song hasn't been decided yet, right? I compose lyrics, and then recommend someone to you, one-stop service, isn't it beautiful? As soon as the sentence was sent out, the other party responded. 000 colon? 000, wait. You speak clearly. 000, this is not a one-stop problem, the question is how do you live? Si fucking closed the computer and applied to his boss, boss, I want to borrow a plane. On the sofa, Yu Zian raised her eyes, borrowing a plane. What's the matter? I haven't received the endorsement fee yet, so I have no money. Si fucking touched his chin, and the fox's eyes lit up, boss, are you tired from work? I'll give you a shoulder squeeze for free. Before Yu Zian could say anything, her hand was already on his shoulder. The man has wide shoulders and narrow waist, and the muscular lines on his shoulders are also perfect and smooth, tough, and powerful. Seeing that she was pinching it seriously, Yu Zian took back the words she directly answered. His eyes drooped slightly, and there was a little more interest in his eyebrows. The girl's hands are very soft, and there are a few thin calluses left from martial arts on the finger pads. But I have to say that she controls the strength very well, and it does make him very comfortable. Feng San came in with a fruit bowl. Who is he and where is he? What's the matter? Why did Miss Si become a massage technician in a blink of an eye? Are you so dedicated to work? After Si fucking finished pinching, his chin rested on the sofa behind him, and the fox blinked, boss, borrow a plane. With such a tone, with such an expression, it is impossible for anyone to reject her. He didn't intend to reject her either. Yu Zian sighed, the plane is parked on the roof of the hotel. Si fucking instantly withdrew her expression, and she straightened her waist without reluctance, then I'm leaving. She couldn't touch her fighter jet, but the plane could still be touched. But who knows, in the next second, Yu Zian said unhurriedly, Feng San, you must deliver the girl. Si fucking stopped and looked at Yu Zion. She almost suspected that her boss knew her driving skills. Don't let her touch the car, why won't she be allowed in other cockpits? Si fucking was expressionless. You, don't call me a girl. I think I'm talking to the ancient noble son. Yu Zion was silent for a moment, then said lightly, no. He was not born in the palace, but in a ruined temple in the palace. When he was 9 years old, he was taken back to the palace, and he lived in the side palace of the cold palace. Even the eunuchs and maids could humiliate him at will. It has nothing to do with princes and nobles. Forget it, let's call it Si fucking put his hands behind his back. Who made you my beloved boss? Boss, don't be sad, you see your legs are healed, and you look so good, it's real, the fifth Diamond King, so powerful, don't be sad. You don't have enough time, it's time to go. Yu Zion propped her head up, her brows raised, and she let out a low voice, girl. Let's go. Si fucking rubbed his ears, come back and bring you something delicious. It was strange that Feng San walked in front. Yu Zion has always kept her emotions in check, and her emotional control can be called perfect. All he can often feel is the overwhelming sense of oppression. How could Miss Si still be able to carefully perceive the emotional fluctuations of Brother Ju? He must be too careless. Feng San was very ashamed. He must learn from Miss Si. Lu Ningsheng was waiting on the top of the building. She saw that Feng San had an outstanding temperament, an excellent appearance, and steady steps, unlike ordinary people. She hurriedly stood up and said, hello, Ching Ching, this is. Feng San said, I'm Miss Si's driver. Miss Lu, don't be polite. Lu Ningsheng. She numbly and Si Fu dumped onto the plane. After seeing Zhang Changfeng, she no longer believed what Feng San said. The layout of the plane is very simple, and it can even be said to be a bit rudimentary. This plane. Lu Ningsheng exclaimed in surprise, this plane is not easy. Si fucking turned his head, what? When I was a student at Hera Conservatory of Music, I went to Ethno University for a month's exchange, and I was fortunate to visit their aerospace laboratory. Lu Ningsheng said, their technology is very developed, but I don't think this plane is very good. Difference. Si fucking smiled, after all, the 5,000 years of the Great Xia dynasty have a long history, and the wisdom of the ancestors is very rich. Lu Ningsheng agreed, yes, but many technologies have been lost, which is a pity. Soon the plane flew out of the Daxia border and arrived in the western continent. The speed of the plane is fast, but the fuselage is extremely stable. This is the power of the Magia organ technique. Organism is a great ancient invention of Daxia. More than 1,000 years ago, the Magia organ city, built by the genius Mo Yanfen, cannot be breached until now. A few hours later, the plane stopped at the airport. The headquarters building of Oracle is not far from Glen, in a cosmopolitan city next door. Before coming, Si fucking made an appointment. When getting off the plane, Lu Ningsheng was stunned when he saw the obvious Western-style buildings. Wait. We're going abroad. How long has it been since? 5 hours at most. Directly from Nanzhou to the western continent? She is crazy. Well, it's out. Si fucking put on his hat, Mr. Lu, I'll show you a netizen. Good morning. Let me tell you an interesting historical story. More than 2,000 years ago, Liban made a wooden bird. The wooden bird flew in the sky for 3 days and 3 nights without stopping, so the technology in ancient times was really advanced. It's almost time for the emotional drama. Let me show you what is two-way development QVQ. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 203. Behind him, Feng San heard it. He remembered the previous netizens of SI fucking, and his eyelids jumped. Miss SI, who are your netizens this time? A pervert SI fucking blinked. Sansan, I ordered takeaway for you, you can rest here, and I'll be back when I go. Feng San's expression changed when he heard the word perverted. To ask Miss SI to call her a pervert, what level of character must she be? Lu Ningsheng didn't know it at all, and followed SI fucking in a good mood. Until she followed SI fucking to the Oracle headquarters building. Surrounded by Western faces. But beauty has no boundaries. Wherever SI fucking's face is placed is the focus. Some foreigners even thought that she was a newly hired modeling prototype by the Oracle official, and came over to ask for an autograph. SI fucking entered the elevator with Lu Ningsheng, then took out his mobile phone and swiped the administrator ID code in front of the sensor. The mechanical female voice sounded. Welcome, 009. The elevator went all the way up to the top floor of the 37th floor. SI fucking took the map sent to her by the chief planner, came to the door of his office, and knocked on the door. A deep voice sounded inside, come in. SI fucking pushed open the door. There are 16 computers in the office, a shelf for keyboards, and countless game figures and cosplay costumes. Lu Ningsheng is also a loyal player of Oracle. After seeing this, she was all excited. This is a gamer's dream paradise. In front of the desk, the man with golden glasses raised his head and was about to say something. When his eyes fell on SI fucking's face, his pupils shrank suddenly, he stood up in an instant, and lost his voice. You. SI fucking urged him to speak in front. Let me introduce you, this is the queen of our great Xia Empire. She is only 29 years old and has been nominated for the Hera Award. She is very suitable to sing this anniversary theme song. Mr. Lu, this is Mr. Ji Yunji, the chief planner of the Oracle. Ji Yun swallowed all the following words abruptly, and his voice was a little erratic. The Queen of Heaven, I. Lu Ningsheng nodded. Hello, Mr. Ji. Why doesn't this master plan look so smart? After 10 seconds, Ji Yun completely calmed down. Miss Lu, I've heard of it. He pushed on his glasses, stepped forward and shook hands with Lu Ningsheng. It's just your vocal cords. It's ready. Lu Ningsheng nodded. I won't let the Oracle down. Ji Yun nodded and called his assistant, take teacher Lu to the recording studio for an audition. The assistant took Lu Ningsheng away, leaving only Ji Yun and SI fucking in the office. Ji Yun suddenly stepped forward and reached out to pull the girl's face. SI fucking slapped it away, raised his feet, and narrowed his eyes. What do you want to do? I'll see if you've changed your face. Why are you so young? Ji Yun took a deep breath. No, I'm crazy, and I'm also blind. You let me wash my eyes. 9 years have passed, he is 32, how old is she? SI fucking lied without even blinking her eyes, she propped her chin. Is there a genius in this world? Allow, of course. Ji Yun gritted his teeth. Are you a genius? You are a pervert. When he thought of the Oracle game program he designed with him, the person on the other end of the network cable was a teenage child, and the whole person was not well. Don't you know a prodigy who passed the international entrance exam at the age of 7? SI fucking unscrewed a bottle of Coke. I'm nothing. International entrance exam. Ji Yun paused and nodded, just in time. I'm helping you, and you'll do me a favor too. SI fucking snorted and took a sip of Coke. What are you busy with? This year's international entrance exam is about to start, and there are still 3 months before the final exam. Ji Yun said. They asked me to give 3 questions, but I just don't know what to ask, so you can ask me. Cough cough cough. SI fucking was choked. You really can squeeze the workers. Each other. After all, Ji Yun is a senior 2-dimensional person, and he accepts it quickly, and his expression becomes relaxed. I remind you, don't be too perverted, it's people who do the questions. No I fucking stroked his chin, I still have several small fans to take the international entrance examination. How can I embarrass them? They are all my cuties. Ji-yoon was taken aback, little fans. Actually. I fucking sat up straight, with a serious expression, my job is a star, and it's still developing. Maybe you can hear my name abroad next year. Ji-yoon. After a few seconds, he said numbly, you won. The two chatted for a while, and the assistant returned with Lu Ning-sheng. The assistant respectfully said, Mr. G, Teacher Lu's voice is very suitable. Well, very good. Ji-yoon turned his head, aren't you a one-stop service? What about the tunes and words? I fucking lazily took a few sheets of paper, it's written on the plane, it's a bit scribbled, you'll have to read it. Ji-yoon's blue veins jumped on his forehead, he took the sheet music over to look at it, and handed it to Lu Ning-sheng. Lu Ning-sheng only hummed a bar, his eyes lit up, this song. She specializes in music, so it's not like a layman can only hear a good one. Lu Ning-sheng finished reading the lyrics and scores, her expression gradually shocked, she opened her mouth, ching ching, you. I fucking stretched out his index finger and pressed his lips, Mr. Lu, let's keep a low profile. Ji-yoon on the side was expressionless. It's just composing and writing lyrics, and I haven't made any other big moves. It's really low-key enough. Lu Ning-sheng couldn't slow down. She never thought that I fucking could be so low-key. From her eyes, it can be seen at a glance that once the song is launched on major music platforms, I am afraid it will directly win the Hera Music Award next year. Lu Ning-sheng held her hand with a solemn expression, ching ching, I want to take you to meet my boyfriend in a while. You helped me, and he said he wanted to thank you. This time, it was I fucking's turn. Lu Ning-sheng has been out for so long, and there is no scandal at all. Seeing that she is nearly 30 years old and has no object, fans are very worried. Because my boyfriend's status is special, Lu Ning-sheng hesitated, I plan to quit the circle and announce it again. I won't have any scandals for a while, and he also cleaned it up. In fact, if Mo Yuffie really dares to put the blame on me on the body, she will not be better. I fucking raised his eyebrows, is your status special? His name is Shen 11. Lu Ning-sheng hummed, have you heard of Ching Ching? Ji-yoon on the side spoke calmly, a billionaire. I fucking froze, wait. She took out her phone and searched for the name on the internet. A line jumps out below. Shen 11, a well-known young entrepreneur in the Daxia Empire, is worth 15 billion. I fucking fell into silence as he watched the string of zeros behind him. My money is mine, his is his. Lu Ning-sheng coughed awkwardly, I can earn it myself, I don't need it, so I haven't disclosed it to the public, but he kept urging me, so I thought about withdrawing it. The circle will be announced again. Originally, I also planned to quit the circle this year, she sighed, but still not reconciled. Thank you, Ching Ching, for giving me another chance, you have helped me a lot, I will definitely be fine. Reward you. Are you going to make a drama? I will let him invest, and I will definitely give you the whole big one. I fucking looked up at the sky. Ji-yoon was a little confused, what is your expression? I fucking, I want to go back and inherit hundreds of millions of properties. Ji-yoon finally found a pain point to poke, do you have it? I fucking. No, I'm worried. She should still work hard. Program here. Mo Yuffie I wanted to discuss with Lu Ning-sheng, but was told that Lu Ning-sheng had left temporarily. She frowned and was about to contact the company when she received a call from He-yu. Yufei, did she really agree to come forward? On the other end of the phone, He-yu's voice was weak, won't it affect us? Don't worry, Mo Yuffie I had the winning ticket in her hands. She doesn't have any ability now, she is an abandoned child of the company. On the contrary, I am the company's strong supporter. The company is very clear about who is more important and who is less. He was relieved. Then what if my girlfriend Fan runs away? What's the matter, Mo Yuffie? I didn't care much. At that time, she said that she was coercing you. She is a day old, and you are still a newcomer. Of course, you dare not resist the old senior. Besides, does she have any evidence? He finally smiled, yes. As long as he kills the old senior and suppresses the younger generation, Lu Ningsheng will not be able to turn over. Okay, today my company will hold a clarification press conference, Mo Yuffie said. When I finish recording the show, remember to wait for me at the hotel. You should go down. Mo Yuffie is in the limelight recently. As long as he pleases her a lot, he can get a lot of resources. At this time, Universal Century Music also received a call from Lu Ningsheng. She was about to terminate the contract. Scared the agent, he directly transferred the call to the chairman. My contract has also expired, so it is normal to terminate the contract. Lu Ningsheng's tone was firm. Since I have promised to stand up for Mo Yuffie, I will also withdraw from the circle in the future. The company originally planned to terminate the contract with me. Hearing this sentence, the chairman fell silent. Indeed. In terms of talent and creative talent, Mo Yuffie is no match for Lu Ningsheng. But 2 years later, Lu Ningsheng's vocal cords have not improved at all. It's not that the company hasn't worked hard, but unfortunately it didn't work out. It happened that when the company used all resources to cultivate Mo Yuffie was photographed by the paparazzi again. After several weighings, Lu Ningsheng could only be given up. Ningsheng, you don't need to terminate the contract, the chairman advised. You haven't had any scandals for so many years, and it doesn't matter if you have it. After a few days, netizens will forget about it. Although your vocal cords are broken and you can't sing, you can still participate in variety shows. Why bother? 10 years, from an 18th line to the position of Tianho, only talent is not enough. Lu Ningsheng has enough courage. She also has a lot of fans. Even if Lu Ningsheng goes to film variety shows as a mentor, she can make a lot of money for the company. The chairman did not want to let go. No, Lu Ningsheng just said, I want to terminate the contract. I will get the termination contract before you hold the press conference, otherwise I will not come forward to clarify. Okay, then the chairman sighed. Ningsheng, if you cancel the contract, you will completely miss the stage. Don't you regret it? Lu Ningsheng sneered in his heart, but smiled on his face. No way, my vocal cords are broken, and sooner or later I have to get to this point. Okay, the chairman said nothing more. I'll have someone send it to you to terminate the contract. Lu Ning said lightly, my lawyer has already arrived at the company, you can give it to him directly. The phone was hung up indifferently. The chairman's expression was not very good. She wants to terminate the contract, so she is not a member of Universal Music. Let the Public Relations Department act according to the regulations. The special assistant nodded, yes. Since Lu Ningsheng was leaving, of course, she had to squeeze all her remaining interests out. Clarified that the press conference will be held as scheduled. It's about the two queens and the popular little fresh meat. The reporter's microphone can't wait to squeeze into the mouth of the public relations manager of Universal Century Music. That's right, it's not Mr. Mo, but Mr. Lu who was photographed. The manager of the public relations department calmly said, we didn't expect such a thing to happen, please stop guessing at random, this is a personal matter, no need to dig deeper. The reporter did not give up, but was aggressive. Is there really a legitimate personal relationship between Mr. Lu and He? Why did He say he was coerced? At the same time as the clarification press conference was held, He posted a Weibo. At HYUV, I don't want to do a lot of things, but I have to do it, smile. The fans below were shocked. Does this mean that Lu Ningsheng is bullying the younger generation? If this is the case, It's really disgusting. Lu Ningsheng has been out for 10 years, He is only a few years old, and Lu Ningsheng coerced him that he would not dare to resist. Do you believe that Lu Ningsheng hasn't been in love for 10 years? I don't believe it, I think she's messing around in private. Even Lu Ningsheng's brokerage company clarified that it was Lu Ningsheng who entered Heyu's room that night. In addition, Heyu posted such a Weibo at this time, netizens can be said to be one-sided. The top diva maliciously oppressed the newcomer. Lu Ningsheng was very popular, and went directly to the top of the hot search. Heyu was a perfect victim. He breathed a sigh of relief. When he was about to call Mo Yufi to announce the good news, a new hot search appeared. Hashtag Lu Ningsheng, boyfriend hashtag. Below is a Weibo that was just released 3 seconds ago. At Lu Ningsheng, the contract has been terminated, not me, have a boyfriend, don't Q. Shipo revealed her boyfriend worth 15 billion. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 204. It was a formal photo of Shen 11 that appeared in a financial magazine not long ago. Suits and leather shoes, elegant people to the deep. Not to mention the melon-eating netizens and the navy and marketing accounts sent by Mo Yufi, even Lu Ningsheng's fans were stunned. Am I blind? Really? When did Lu Ningsheng have a boyfriend? Deliberately jumping out and posting this Weibo at this time, want to divert your attention? It must be fake. Shen 11 is the son of the Shen family, can he be interested in the entertainment industry? Lu Ningsheng had been dreaming of marrying into a wealthy family for a long time, so hurry up and wake her up. However, there was no time for keyboard warriors to continue typing, and the Shen group forwarded this Weibo from Lu Ningsheng. At V, the young master finally got his name. Let's draw a prize today to celebrate, and forward a lucky netizen to send a sweet. It's not good to slander the young lady, and neither are the fans of Mo Yufi and Heyu. This time, the entire network was silent. I've seen a lottery draw for a mobile phone, but I've never seen a house giveaway, but the house in the 49 cities, at least starting at 50 million. Isn't this turning? The amount of forwarding increased exponentially, and it didn't take long for it to break through 500,000. The big family is really a big family, and I will give you a sweet if I get it. I will buy a pack of spicy sticks for each of the brothers and sisters here. I buy 10 packs. Why is it still rolled up? It is forbidden to roll in. And as soon as the Weibo of Shen's group came out, Heyu immediately became a joke. But Heyu fans naturally only believe in Heyu and are still struggling to the death. What happened to a rich boyfriend? A rich boyfriend wants a new person to serve her? It's disgusting enough. Shameless is shameless. Laughing, you first search for who Shen 11 is saying this. Gao Fusue, really tall Fusue, still young, only 30 years old. Also the seniors are forcing the juniors to be reasonable. If Lu Ningsheng really wants to do something to Heyu, it's up to the Shen family. Heyu, you are long gone. Heyu, does your face hurt? Look at what you have compared to young Master Shen. You have no money, no power, no face, and your dry figure. How could Lu Tianho like you? Lu Ningsheng replied to this comment. I don't like it, I don't have a handsome boyfriend. Netizens. It was as if the dog lying on the side of the road was kicked again. Here at the airport. Feng San finished the third hamburger and waited for Sci-fucking. Seeing that she came back alone, she wondered, where's Teacher Lu? She came back with her boyfriend Sci-fucking stretched out. I won't destroy people's feelings if I light a light bulb. Feng San remembered Sci-fucking's pickup skills. His mouth twitched. Isn't that destroying people's feelings? Sci-fucking got on the plane, lay on the soft chair, and sighed, if one day, I can go back and inherit hundreds of millions of properties. Feng San said subconsciously, ninth brother has it? There are hundreds of millions. It's not mine. Sci-fucking lay down for a while, then suddenly sat up again. She was very serious. I'm going to start working crazy, and then embark on the path of winning in life by marrying Bai Fume. Feng San. Is there something wrong? Feng San didn't dare to ask, and concentrated on being a driver. In the town on the Nanzhou side, Yu Xian received a call from Shenzing Yun. Shi Yan, do you know? My second brother is famous. His girlfriend, the queen who recorded the show with Miss Si, finally announced him on the internet. My second brother is very happy now, Shen Xingyun said. He has been in the past few years. He has always had no name or distinction, and every time the family gets together, he loses his face, and I don't dare to say a few more words to him when I see him. The Shen family is a wealthy family in the 49 cities, and their marriage requirements for their descendants are not low. If it was just a star in the entertainment industry, it would be absolutely impossible for the Shen family to let him in. But Lu Ningsheng was different. Lu Ningsheng graduated from the Hera Conservatory of Music and has many awards. He has always been very self-disciplined and has no black spots. The old man Shen and the old lady Shen were very satisfied with her. The Shen family is ready to take Lu Ningsheng back to the Shen family to be the young lady when she retires. Yu Xian propped her head up and raised her eyebrows. No name or no point. Isn't it? Shen Xingyun shrugged. My second sister-in-law attaches more importance to career than my second brother. Women who are engaged in career are really scary. Yu Xian smiled inaudibly. It's quite scary. Shen Xingyun noticed that the tone of the sentence was wrong, and he was startled. You won't, is there a situation? It was really hard for him to imagine that Yu Xian would have a girlfriend. After all, he had never seen such a calm and self-controlled person as Yu Xian. Homemade to a terrible degree. Yu Xian's tone was indifferent. You have nothing to do. Shen Xingyun choked. He coughed twice. Actually, I thought about your future girlfriend for you. You see that you have no desire for anything. I think only Daxia was who can be you object. Yu Xian's expression froze. Shen Xingyun didn't think there was anything wrong at all. He continued, you said that if you were born 1,000 years earlier, you might be able to compete for the world or something. After all, you have a strong entrepreneurial spirit, and The phone was hung up. Shen Xingyun. His brother is really getting more and more difficult to figure out. The next day was a rest day, which was very rare. Si decided to pay for it out of his own pocket and invite Yu Xian, Feng San, and Shang Lu to dinner. Shang Lu rubbed his hands together and was excited when he was irritated by Feng San's contemptuous attitude towards the competition, and immediately made an appointment to go to the back mountain to fight. Really dedicated Si side, boss, only you can cultivate such dedicated subordinates. Yu Xian lowered her head slightly, her eyes were level with her. You are quite dedicated. That's it. Si clenched his fist. I am a laborer who wants to work hard to earn money. Xiaobai breathed lazily. Is to give him more rations. Yu Xian hummed, what to eat? Barbecue by the sea. Si said, I made an appointment in advance. It tastes better when there are fewer people. Residents in the town also know that Daxiatai is recording programs here, and the director also let people know in advance, and Yuji is not allowed to come in. But there are still entertainment reporters sneaking in. Si noticed that she was being followed, so she grabbed Yu Xian's shoulder. Boss, I didn't wear a mask and sunglasses today, you can borrow me to hide. As she said that, she was about to shrink herself behind Yu Xian. He was tall and straight, and he could still block her. No, Yu Xian said lightly. Si raised his head, huh. He raised his hand and took off half of the suit, just covering her upper body. He stretched out his arm again, clasped her head from behind, and pressed it into his arms. He has a faint moonlight cinnamon on him, which is very refreshing. The man's chest is wide and warm, and his heartbeat is steady and powerful. He had just finished taking a bath, and the breath on his body was not as fierce as before, but a little more lazy. After the entertainment reporters came over, they found nothing wrong. What about people? Probably already gone. Alas, I should have run faster then. It would be great if we could photograph Sci-fi scandal. She is very popular now, and our performance can be good. Several entertainment reporters said and circled around the beach. There are only couples in 2s and 3s around. Even if Uzion blocked Sci-fi, their temperament was still outstanding. Yuji squinted his eyes and was about to take a closer look. Uzion raised her eyes. Yuji's heart shuddered, and he stepped back almost instantly. Hold, sorry. He rolled and crawled to escape, and still had a lingering fear in discussing with his accomplices. It should be the son of a big family who came out to play with his girlfriend. That momentum scared me to death. I didn't even see what he looked like. They can't afford to offend a big family. After the entertainment reporters left, Sci-fi finally withdrew. Boss, your hiding skills are really good. Even if you are famous, you have to hide it when you eat. Uzion sat down and did not respond. He stretched out his hand and wiped the table with a piece of paper. Well, let's eat. Then I'm welcome. Sci-fi finished washing his hands and picked up a skewer of barbecued meat. Eat the barbecued meat with the happy water from the fat house. I'm really happy. Uzion turned her head and silently looked at Haitian in the distance. There has been a terrible war here. Not even a tomb. Sci-fi was keenly aware of the slight fluctuations in his emotions, and remembered that her boss was also a fan of Emperor Yin. Boss, although His Majesty and those soldiers are gone, they should all be happy. Sci-fi looked serious. You think, if they know that 1500 years have passed, the moon palace in the poem is no longer a dream, you can go straight up and overlook the 5 states. Aren't they fighting for today? Uzion suddenly turned her head. His eyes flickered, and his emotions fluctuated violently. After a long time, he closed his eyes slightly and smiled softly. Yes, he should be happy. Sci-fi took another sip of Coke. She declared that Coke will always be the happiest drink in the world. The next day, the show went on to be recorded. The affair between Lu Ningsheng and her rich boyfriend has been turbulent on the internet, and it is impossible for Mo Yufei not to know. She endured for a day, and finally when the recording was over, she found an opportunity to be alone with Lu Ningsheng. Mo Yufei took a deep breath, her voice trembling. Your boyfriend is actually Shen 11. That's the richest man on the young celebrity list. Also surnamed Shen. The Shen family in 49 cities. How many people can't climb the tall branch? Lu Ningsheng is from the entertainment industry. Why did the Shen family like it? Moreover, Shen 11 personally proved through the Shen group that he and Lu Ningsheng have been dating for 5 years. Mo Yufei asked herself that Lu Ningsheng never found out about her fake girlfriend 5 years ago, and that Lu Ningsheng would tell her anything. How could she have no idea about this one? She was blinded by Lu Ningsheng. What? Lu Ningsheng looked indifferent. Do you think I have to tell you everything? Mo Yufei took a step back and gritted her teeth. Lu Ningsheng, you are hiding so deeply. Do you think the Shen family is interested in you? With a wealthy family like the Shen family, and Shen 11 so good, the Shen family must have chosen him long ago. A well-matched daughter-in-law. He's just playing with you. Are you serious? Many stars have the dream of a wealthy family, whether male or female. Mo Yufei is no exception. She has also dated several small family sons, and without exception, they all treat her with contempt. Since you asked, I'll tell you. By the way, Lu Ningsheng smiled. Do you remember the boy we met 5 years ago when we returned to our alma mater? Mo Yufei groaned in her heart. Is he Shen 11? Shen 11 was famous 3 years ago, and 5 years ago, he was not yet famous. She and Lu Ningsheng met a very poor boy at the Hera Conservatory of Music. She was unreasonable, but Lu Ningsheng chose to help. Yes, Lu Ningsheng folded his arms. when I was with him, I didn't even know the relationship between him and the Shen family. He failed to start a business, and when I ran around with him, you didn't know which man it was. On the bed, why are you questioning our relationship here? Lu Ningsheng, don't be complacent. Mo Yufi pinched her palm. So what if your boyfriend is Shen 11? Your vocal cords are still bad, your career is gone, and women without careers will be looked down upon sooner or later. Career, Lu Ningsheng smiled meaningfully. Ching Ching just introduced me to my job. I'm really sorry, I can't quit the circle as you wish. Mo Yufi laughed. Si fucking? Just her. Introducing Lu Ningsheng's job, Si fucking has been in the entertainment industry for 20 years is not enough. Mo Yufi didn't take the sentence to heart at all. She said coldly, Lu Ningsheng, I can't compare to you in terms of love. Look at how I trampled you under my feet in my career. Although Lu Ningsheng doesn't have Mo Yufi's name, the netizens are all good people, and they know that Universal Century Music must have used Lu Ningsheng to block Mo Yufi's sword. Universal Century Company's Weibo has been exploded. The public relations department can't even suppress public opinion, and it doesn't dare to suppress it at all. Who made the Shen family appear? Chairman, Lu Ningsheng has gone too far this time. Mo Yufi's agent was very angry. She clearly put us together and also involved Yufei. Then what can we do? What can you do? The chairman laughed angrily. Do you know who Shen 11 is? He is not only a billionaire, but also from the Shen family. 80% of the time he is from the Shen family. A patriarch, can you fight? Mo Yufi's agent opened his mouth and stopped talking. The size of the Shen family is of course not comparable to the Yu family and the Xie family, but it is also a century-old wealthy family. How can they be compared by a music company? You have to be thankful that the Shen family didn't do anything to you. The chairman's face was ashen. Mo Yufi also said that she and Lu Ningsheng were best friends, so why doesn't she know about the Shen family? Hurry up and get out. If it weren't for all the resources being thrown on Mo Yufi, the company would have given up Mo Yufi without hesitation. The chairman is very sorry. If he knew that Lu Ningsheng was the future young lady of the Shen family, he wouldn't have done so absolutely. Now we can only hope that Mo Yufi can enter the official eyes of the Oracle. On the other side, the official headquarters building of the Oracle. You said the song is already set. The middle-aged man was anxious, but the news was released the day before yesterday, so why is it set? The Oracle's anniversary song is very important. For last year's song, I invited more than a dozen composers and lyricists, and it took a month to polish the lyrics and songs. Why is this time so short? Yes, Ji Yun's secretary nodded. The music MV is also in production, and it is still in the confidential stage. Mr. Daniel, I'm really sorry. In the game, the Eastern and Western camps compete against each other, and in reality, the Western continent has been fighting for more rights and interests. This time, they came with the victory in hand, but returned with a feather in their hands. Which composer could satisfy the official oracle in such a short period of time? Is the singer also fixed? The middle-aged man asked again. I can recommend Miss Molly here. She has won the Hera Music Award twice, and her strength is absolutely guaranteed. Sorry, the secretary apologized, the singer is also fixed. After the big summer, President Xi has already asked the publicity department to issue a notice. After the big summer, the middle-aged man was even more incredulous and a little angry. Why is it from the big summer again? It was their person last time, this time it's our turn. And can anyone in the Great Xia Empire win the Hera Music Award twice? That Su Yang took it once. Where can they compare to their Western continent? The secretary shook his head. Mr. Daniel, please come this way. There is no room for negotiation, and the middle-aged can only leave with regret. At Oracle official Weibo V, in this 9th year of gathering, the commemorative song of the whole server is officially named Return, and Lu Tianhou at Lu Ningsheng is specially invited to singing the prosperity of the East, so stay tuned. 1,000 players will be drawn with 1 million ingots each. Thank you for your support. There will be more popular activities on the anniversary day, waiting for all heroes to participate. Although 1 million yuan treasure is the game currency, if it is simply recharged, 100,000 cash is needed. The official oracle has always been very generous, and it is not soft at all in sending things. A second later, Lu Ningsheng also retweeted this Weibo. At Lu Ningsheng V, looking forward to cooperating / at Oracle official Weibo V, in this 9th year of meeting. Good weekend. His Majesty is boiling frogs in warm water, because he can see that Ching Ching has no awareness of this. Sci-fucking. Q, what if Emperor Yin chases you? Sci-fucking, no, he can only be with his world. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 205. 2 Weibo directly collapsed Weibo. Netizens started to retweet like crazy. This year's Oracle battle really gave us a face in the summer. Not only was the first kill of the copy taken by 9 God, but the singing qualification of the 9th anniversary theme song is in our hands again. Ha 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 ha, the next door is going crazy. Last year, when I watched the Hera Award ceremony, I thought they were arrogant and looked at people in their nostrils, but I was confident that I had home field advantage to win the award. As a result, I was slapped in the face by Sushen. It didn't take long before I was beaten again. Cool. Didn't you say that Lu Ningsheng's vocal cords were broken? It seems that there is no more, otherwise the oracle will not choose her. The people who spread rumors have ulterior motives. Don't say it, and go to the lottery. What's even more funny is that Mo Yofi still wants to compete for this spot, but the official oracle directly selected the candidate, and the career in the love field is all frustrated. Why is it so miserable? Lu Ningsheng was confirmed as the candidate for cooperation, and Oracle, as an international big game, naturally released this announcement on all platforms around the world. The middle-aged man who just came out of the Oracle headquarters building naturally saw it. But the name Lu Ningsheng was very unfamiliar to him, and he had never heard of it. The assistant hurriedly said, "This Lu Tianhou was nominated for the Hera Music Award 5 years ago and is quite famous in the Great Xia Empire, but he hasn't sang very much in the past 2 years." Just a nomination, the middle-aged man raised his voice abruptly. "Miss Molly has won 2 awards, why did she squeeze out Miss Molly?" The more he thought about it, the more unwilling he became, and he turned back again. "No, I must ask clearly. If the strength of the person invited by the oracle was higher than Molly, of course he would not say anything. Can nominations be compared to real winners?" "That's right, Mr. Daniel, Miss Lu was the one who made the decision by Mr. G himself," the secretary politely said. "I don't know if Mr. Daniel remembers the commemorative song for the 3rd anniversary, but Mr. G said that this time the commemorative song is also his. This friend did it, and Miss Lu also recommended it, so of course President G will use it." The middle-aged man was surprised. The 3rd anniversary. The 2nd anniversary of Oracle became a global hit, and the 3rd anniversary attracted the attention of the international music industry. As soon as this piece came out, it won the Hera Music Award that year. And the singer Agatha Field, who sang this song back then, had already stood at the pinnacle of the international music industry. Of course, middle-aged people will not be unaware of the composer's true strength. Of course, Mr. Daniel can rest assured that the oracle will not be used by people who have no strength. The secretary smiled slightly. Ms. Lu's voice is very suitable for singing Oriental-style songs. The MV will be released at the end of July, Mr. Daniel, you can tell at a glance. The middle-aged man couldn't help but say, "This friend of President G is from Daxia." The secretary just smiled and didn't say anything. The middle-aged man already understood everything, and he took a deep breath. "Okay, I'll wait for the music MV to be released." He shook his head and finally left with regret. The cooperation between Oracle and Lu Ningsheng not only shocked the world, but also caught Universal Century Music by surprise. They had originally waited for MOUFI to finish recording this episode of Daxia, and then send her to the official headquarters of the Oracle. Of course, Universal Century Music didn't think that MOUFI would be favored by the Oracle, but as long as there was one more network, that would be great. But the chairman did not expect that Lu Ningshen, who was abandoned by them, would actually cooperate directly with the Oracle. He's not like someone who doesn't know the outside world. As early as the beginning of last year, many hospitals determined that Lu Ningshen's vocal cords could not be recovered. Even several heavenly kings and queens on the Western continent are competing for this qualification. How did Lu Ningshen win it silently? The chairman's face turned red and blue, and the veins on his forehead jumped violently. No wonder Lu Ningshen decided to terminate the contract with Universal Century Music so decisively. It turned out that he was waiting for them here. But even if she had her back to the Shen family, it was impossible for the Shen family to call on the Oracle. Besides, how good is Lu Ningshen's vocal cords? Chairman, it's not good, the manager of the public relations department broke in, the Shen family and the Shen family have started. The chairman's eyes darkened, he got up hurriedly, what's going on? The manager of the public relations department panicked, Mo Tianho should not be able to keep it. Photos of Mo Yofei dating various people began to appear on the internet. From He Yu, a little fresh meat in his early 20s, to investors in his 50s and 60s, everything is available. The 10-year-old Jade Girl set collapsed directly, and the fans even lost their houses. And it is absolutely certain that Universal Century Music is pulling Lu Ningshen to block Mo Yofei's sword. There was a lot of scolding in the super words. He Yu was still filming in a crew, and Yuji came directly to the door. Mr. He, why did you maliciously frame Lu Tianho? Did Mo Tianho instruct you? Mr. He, Lu Tianho is the future young lady of the Shen family. Do you really think you can compare with Mr. Shen 11? Mr. He Yu fled in a panic, I don't know anything, I don't know anything. He really doesn't know how things got the way they are today. All he knew was that as soon as the Shen family made a move, his acting career would come to an end. All because he and Mo Yofei wanted to destroy Lu Ningshen. And now, it's self-inflicted. When Lu Ningshen woke up, he found that Mo Yofei's personality had collapsed, and the internet had changed drastically. Aren't you moving too fast? Lu Ningshen exclaimed, you were able to dig out so much black material from her. Shen 11 glanced at it and was silent, it's not me. It's not you, Lu Ningshen was stunned, who is that? Shen 11 frowned, suddenly raised his head, very resentful, isn't it your suitor? Lu Ningshen also felt strange, no, aren't all my suitors scared away by your people? My fans all think I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. Shen 11 was a little depressed. Who the hell stole his job? Forget it, it's good to have a name. He was the first in his generation to catch his wife, and he wanted to show off when he went back. The program group is here. The recording started at 8 o'clock, and SI fucking handed in his mobile phone. Yesterday was the last recording of Lu Ningshen and Mo Yofei, and today it is still the 6 resident guests to survive. Old Chin, there are too many stars who have collapsed recently. The assistant director clicked his tongue in surprise, look at this Mo Yofei, oh, if she offends the Shen family, she can quit the circle directly. The director said slowly, yeah, fortunately, she doesn't have any shots, so she can cut them all. In the future, you can check the selection again. Who knows what kind of moths can be made? That's right, the deputy director agreed. Or you can ask Miss SI to choose for you. I read online that Miss SI is a disciplinary committee member, and you can be sure if you catch it. Look at this time, did she catch it again? She also said the other day that Mo Yofei didn't do anything wrong and was not afraid of ghosts knocking on the door. Today, Mo Yofei is finished. Director, Don't mention her, as soon as you mention her, I'll have a cerebral hemorrhage. Tang Haikyu was so excited that he ran over to him yesterday and brought Sci-Fi's audition video. Although the director has never made a film and television drama, and has been mixing in variety shows and talk shows, he is not clear about the rules and regulations of the film and television industry. Sci-Fi's short 10-minute audition was a perverted and terrifying act. It's hard to imagine that an 18-year-old girl's acting skills are so free and easy to overwhelm a movie star Mo Yishin and almost miss the show. Tang Haikyu has taken the opportunity to recommend Sci-Fi to the film director he knows. But the water in the film industry is deeper and the capital is more complicated, and it is not so easy to advance. The director pressed his temples. I still have to show Lao Tang his drama throughout the prime time. Why do I have so many things? Old Chin, be happy. The assistant director smiled. If Miss Si becomes popular in the future, I will take you to fly. The director was expressionless. As long as Si can restrain himself a little and don't pass the tests so quickly, his hair won't fall out so much. But it turns out that no matter how difficult or weird the level is, Si has not been trapped. After she reached the finish line, she sat down on the beach and began to write and draw on the ground with a branch. My wife is the first to arrive. Can Si stay away from Su Jianian? Let me see what we are painting, baby. The photographer knows very well, and he zooms in on the camera. Fans fell silent after seeing the strange pictures on the beach. This, a bit like a Lagrangian curve. How do I see it as a wavy line? Don't be funny, Si has never been to high school, and even Lagrange, does she know what Lagrange is? She really blew her head, like a god. Si touched his chin and looked at the very scribbled formula diagrams and drawings, and nodded. All right, that's it. Shouldn't be considered perverted. Yuan Heping arrived second, and he was a little curious. Fu Qing, what are you doing? Just draw and play. Si wiped his hands. Mr. Yuan, they are all men, and the show depends on you. When it comes to maintaining his figure, Yuan Heping is not at all humble. That is, I am not exaggerating to say that in martial arts, there are not many young people who can take a punch from me. Si smiled. I believe in teacher Yuan. Fu Qing, do you have any other jobs next? Yuan Heping asked. Would you like me to introduce one to you? Yes. Si nodded. I'm going to join the group for filming in September, and the lineup is full this year. Xiangxia dramas are not easy to shoot, and Tang Haikyu doesn't like to use special effects very much. Almost every scene is shot on location, and the shooting cycle is very long. That's good, that's good. I'm afraid you won't have food by then. Yuan Heping smiled. Tell me that you are short of work, and Grandpa will introduce you. Si paused and said politely, you don't look like your grandfather at all. That's right, Yuan Heping's muscles are more developed than Su Jianian. I really joined the group. What drama is it? Crossing the Devil also starts shooting in September. Farewell, FemaleMedia, a garbage company, will pour such good resources into it, and FemaleMedia was not that good. They worked hard to get Meng Shui a female number 5 no matter what. You can smell the sour smell of Si fans across the screen. We Swexu can still play the 5th female lead in director Tang's movie. What does Si have? Other guests also arrived one after another. At 6 o'clock in the evening, the day's survival is over. Everyone returned to the seaside town. The on-site coordinator ran over. Director Chin, Mo Yufei is here. Why is she here? The director frowned. Drive away, don't let her get in the way here. The on-site coordinator looked at Si cautiously. She said she had something to ask Mr. Si. Si raised her eyebrows, and she stood up. Director, let me go, she came to find me anyway, it's not easy for you to drive her away. The director nodded. Okay, if she dares to do anything to you, I will definitely not let her go. Si moved his wrist. Then she shouldn't have the courage. Thinking of Sci-fi's director who easily gave the python a bow. He was really out of his mind and worried about her. When things broke out on the internet, Yuffie didn't sleep well all day and night, and she couldn't even eat. Her eyes were blue and black, her eyes were sunken, and her face was even paler. Mo Tianho has something to say to me. Si folded his arms. No, you should quit the circle, you are an amateur, so it's inappropriate to call it that. Mo Yuffie raised her head suddenly, her expression very ugly. She never thought that there would be such a day. Lu Ningsheng still stepped on her head, and her career was soaring. She doesn't accept it? Why does she keep looking up at Lu Ningsheng? Mo Yuffie's voice squeezed out of her teeth. You did all those things on the internet, right? Lu Ningsheng's cooperation with Oracle was also recommended by you. You are really amazing. What else do you have? I don't know. Yes, Si looked at her calmly. Not in a hurry. Mr. Lu's vocal cords were also cured by me. And Tat is really the enemy of my life. Lying in bed for a day 3. See you tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 206. Hearing this sentence, Mo Yuffie's pupils shrank. She couldn't help but take a few steps back, her voice sharp. Impossible. All doctors say her vocal cords can't be cured. Her voice is completely dead. It was the medicine she accidentally got from a witch doctor when she traveled to Yanqing. If it was discovered early on, there would naturally be room for maneuver. But Lu Ningsheng's vocal cords have been completely destroyed. How can it be restored? However, if there is no recovery, it is impossible for Lu Ningsheng to be officially invited by the Oracle to sing the anniversary song. Oracle official. Who are you? How could you speak to the official Oracle? Mo Yuffie became emotional. Why did you give such a good opportunity to Lu Ningsheng? Si didn't even raise his eyes, stepped forward with his slender legs and walked back. Mo Yuffie was not reconciled. She raised her hand and grabbed Si shoulder. You are not allowed to leave. How could Si skill be touched by her? Bang. Mo Yuffie's strength was unstable and fell to the ground. Miss Mo, people are doing it, and the sky is watching. Si tilted his head and smiled. There is a god who raises his head 3 feet. If you do too many bad things, you will be punished. What nonsense. Mo Yuffie was still lying on the ground. She sneered and sneered. Every day you talk about gods and ghosts, and those who don't know think that you deal with these things every day. Well, this time it was her who planted it. She admitted it. Mo Yuffie just regretted that she should have given Lu Ningsheng a more poisonous medicine at that time, leaving Lu Ningsheng paralyzed and unable to take care of herself. Can Shen 11 still like her? Can the Shen family let her be the young lady? It was all her fault that she was too soft-hearted, and was still thinking of her love for Lu Ningsheng's classmates. As soon as Mo Yuffie left the program group, she was surrounded by entertainment reporters who followed her, and the microphone almost drowned her. Mo Tianho, don't you have anything to say about those photos on the internet? Mo Tianho, netizens found that the age range of the people who took pictures with you is very wide, and the appearance is also high and low. Do you have any taboos? Mo Tianho, you will still. Get out. Get out. Mo Yuffie was furious. It's none of your business, get out. She fled in embarrassment. Where can the entertainment reporters take care of Mo Yuffie's mood? They just want to get first-hand information. However, things have been exposed to this point. Mo Yuffie is still set up as a jade girl. She can't get along in the entertainment circle at all, and she has no value in continuing to dig. The entertainment reporters soon dispersed again. Mo Yuffie returned to her private villa, collapsed on the bed from exhaustion, and quickly fell asleep. When she woke up the next morning, she was going to take a shower. Opening her mouth, she suddenly found that her throat could not produce high notes, and her voice was hoarse. Yufi's expression changed, and she immediately took a pill from the medicine box, but the water entered her throat, but her throat was not relieved. Her throat was not sore and she could speak, but her voice was hoarse. Yufi was completely panicked. She was forced to retire, which was no big deal. She can turn her head to any social platform to broadcast live, bring goods, and still make a lot of money. With a reliable voice, how can she survive without a voice? Yufi didn't dare to take medicine indiscriminately, and went to a tertiary hospital urgently, but the doctor shook his head, meaning there was no way to treat it. Under extreme fear and panic, Yufi suddenly recalled the conversation with Sci-fi yesterday. Raise your head 3 feet and there is a God. This sentence hovered in her ear like a spell, and it didn't go away for a long time. Yufi flew to the program group again like crazy, but this time she was turned away. She saw no one. The Shen family didn't do anything a few days ago, which doesn't mean they didn't move. Although the Shen family's industry is not linked to the entertainment industry, the connections of the rich and powerful are there. Yufi was completely blocked. Her accounts on all social platforms have also been cancelled, and it is impossible to even live broadcast with goods. UG broke the news that Yufi's voice was broken on the internet. In addition, MRS Shen also scolded Yufi for maliciously destroying Lu Ningshen's vocal cords. Yufi's reputation was completely stinky, and netizens were scolding her that she deserved it. Even with Universal Century Music, half of the country fell, and the chairman was directly replaced. Only Shen 11 was puzzled as to who had robbed him of his job again. He was depressed, but he was happily preparing to plan the wedding. On the program team's side, 66 days of survival continued to be recorded, and it was still a maritime mission. Let's go fishing today. The deputy director divided the fishing rods and nets. The mechanism of the competition is also very simple. You can catch more fish than anyone else. Come, you can only choose one of the fishing net and the fishing rod. Sci-fi chose a fishing rod, and without waiting for the old fisherman brought by the program team to teach her, she skillfully hung up the bait. The audience in the live broadcast room watched as she swung down with one pole, and a big fat fish came up with one pole. The audience was silent until the fish basket was full of 5. The fish in the Nanwu Sea are afraid that they will be caught. If Sci-fi is placed in the jungle, she will be the king of the jungle. Tiger and lion, give the king the fried chicken. Daughter, your fishing skills are pretty good on the side. The old fisherman was also stunned. Did you do this before? Sci-fi flicked the fishing rod in his hand, and another fat fish was thrown into the basket. I have practiced. Who would have known that she lived a miserable life of fishing by the river in those years, while the Lord of Ghost Valley lay leisurely on the grass and waited for her to deliver grilled fish. It's really good practice. The old fisherman couldn't help but admire. There are not many people who can fish now. You are still a big star. You are really amazing. It is good to have more skills. Sci-fi hung up another bait, and she said lazily, Grandpa, I'm not a big star, and my career has just started. Hey, you look good. The old fisherman waved his hand. Big star, just big star. So it's true that per capita color control, people here don't pay much attention to the entertainment industry. It's not the per capita appearance control. You can see that some top-class villagers and fishermen are not very enthusiastic, so it is Sci-fi's appearance that unifies everyone's aesthetics. Come, shout out to me, Sci-fi, entertain Yandian. Sci-fi caught 5 more baskets of fish. The director's face turned green. Stop, stop, the assistant director hurriedly said. Enough is enough, Mr. Si, the fish you caught today is enough to feed a boatload of people. Sure as I fucking handed the fishing rod back, then I'll play it myself. She took out a few sachets from her pocket, and then put a few more pieces of paper into it. The photographer squatted in front of the shot. This is a lucky charm that I made as I fucking shook the sachet in his hand. There are restrictions on the production of this one. We will give you a lottery in a few days. This sachet looks so good. Where did the wife buy it? This embroidery does not look like machine embroidery, it is artificial and expensive. Si fucking is somewhat seriously ill. No matter how bad the lottery is, he is still a Weibo member. What are you doing here? I want fans and I can't bear the money, it's a shame. Is it related to you? I don't want to smoke you, my wife looks at me, smokes me, and smokes me. At the end of the time, among the other guests, Ning Luiao caught the most and caught 5. The assistant director smiled, okay, this is your meal for today, and we'll go to the island for a full fish feast later. Ning Luiao said with a bitter face, assistant director, I have vomited after eating fish recently. Fish is good, it's high quality protein, the assistant director said slowly, eat more to replenish your brain. The guests were chatting when the wind suddenly picked up, and the chess pieces on the mast rattled. The director stood up, what's the matter? Why is the wind so strong all of a sudden? The gray sky in the distance and the dark clouds gradually gathering were also reflected in the lens. What is that? There won't be a storm, will it? Not like a storm, like a tornado. What's the situation? The old fisherman is well informed, he glanced around, his eyes widened, dragon sucks water. A tornado is a common name for a sea tornado. The fishermen call it that because it looks like a dragon sucking water from the sea to the sky. But the Nanweo Sea has always been calm, and there have been no natural disasters such as sea tornadoes in the past 200 years. Why did they encounter it today? The director was stunned and lost his voice, what? After a while, the sea tornado moved further away, and the ships of all sizes on the sea were gradually pulled by the suction. The sea is no longer calm, the waves are rough. A huge wave was raised, directly overturning a boat, screaming one after another. The director made a decisive decision, quick, go back. Stop the live broadcast, the camera crew turns off the camera equipment. Si fucking also got up, it's too late. Why is it too late? Chi Shunning's face was pale, you shouldn't talk sarcastically here. Si fucking ignored her, stretched out his hand and stuffed a sachet he just made into the old fisherman's arms, Grandpa, you go first. The old fishermen disembarked, returned to their fishing boats, and rushed back immediately. The largest boat that the program group was in also turned around, and the horsepower was adjusted to the maximum. But the wind and waves were huge, the ships were hindered, and the speed was simply not comparable to the sea tornado that hit at a high speed. Already, small fishing boats have been sucked into the sky and twisted to pieces. The ship that Si fucking was on was also involved in the center of the tornado and began to lift off gradually. Ning Luiao clutched Si fucking sleeve tightly, her voice trembling, Ching Ching, we can't swim back even if we swim. It's okay, you can go back. Si fucking's brows were calm, have you taken the talisman I gave you? Ning Luiao stammered, take, lean, then you. I'm fine. Si fucking glanced around quickly, this is the closest to Water Dragon Island, and the route of Sea Dragon Roll will not pass there. You go there first, and I'll find the director and them. The director group and other staff were on another boat, and when the waves came, they had been separated. Si fucking tied a sturdy seat belt around her waist and jumped into the sea. Ning Luiao's expression changed, Ching Ching. The director spit out a mouthful of water, but the person failed to hold on, and passed out. Si fucking tried his pulse, then swam out again. Many people were rescued quickly. Si fucking took a fisherman and put her on the boat, is there anyone else over there? The fisherman was stunned, yes, there are, they. Si fucking nodded, not knowing how many times he entered the bottom of the sea again. She took out the mobile phone in the waterproof bag and dialed Jingzi's number. Jingzi picked it up quickly. Big brother. The signal is almost gone, you listen to me seriously. Si fucking took a breath. Someone who cultivated maliciously caused the sea tornado. I'll give you the coordinates, I'll clean up as soon as possible, here I. Zitsiza. The sound was disturbed by the current, and soon disappeared. Jingzi grabbed the phone. Hello? Hello? Come on. He immediately turned over and put on his clothes and ran out. His uncle is on Laozi's territory again, let Laozi know who you are and you're done. Mr. G was hit and almost bent his waist. He shouted, Stinky boy, what are you doing? Jingzi didn't answer, and ran away in a flash. In Nanwuhe, the director was hit by the waves and has not woken up yet. The assistant director could only look at him. Seeing that the staff had all returned to the boat, he breathed a sigh of relief. But after waiting for a long time, Si fucking did not wait. The assistant director raised his voice, where's teacher Si? The staff stammered, yes, a few fishing boats were involved, and teacher Si is still saving people, and it is also possible. The assistant director took a deep breath, then why are you still standing there? Contact the rescue team. With this level of sea tornado, the first responders they brought had no choice. The ship the guests were on. Because Si fucking tied the seat belt to the bow of the boat and had pulling force, the boat had not yet returned to the island. Ning Luiao and Yuan Heping sent Chen Ziyuan, who also fainted, to the island little by little, with Qi Shuning and Su Jianian on board. It's none of our business if she wants to save others. Seeing the tendency of the ship to be pulled back into the sea tornado again, Qi Shuning collapsed. Why do you care about her? Leave her alone. She grew up so big, and she had never encountered such a big natural disaster. Who is not afraid of death? Si fucking is really ill, and he can't guarantee that he still has time to save others. Save others, don't pull them into the water. Qi Shuning gritted his teeth, his hands trembled, and without thinking about it, he immediately took out scissors from the toolbox beside him, and cut off the safety belt that Si fucking had tied to the railing. Su Jianian's expression changed, he grabbed Qi Shuning's hand suddenly. What are you doing? Do you want us to bury her with her? Qi Shuning's face was pale. We managed to escape from the center of the tornado, what if we were pulled back? The ship was sucked into the sky by the tornado just now, and they almost died at the bottom of the sea. But she was the one who drove the boat out just now. Su Jianian's face was very ugly. The island is just 2 steps away. You can get off the boat and swim over if you are afraid of death. What are you cutting her seat belt for? It's true that he used Si fucking, but indeed, it's hard to make people feel bad about Si fucking's face. Su Jianian felt sorry for her, thinking about compensating her more in the future. But he never thought that Qi Shuning could do such a thing. This is a life. Qi Shuning was speechless when questioned. I. She was just afraid of death, but she didn't really want Si fucking to die. Obviously they are all out of danger, why should they be in danger again because of Si fucking? Without the pulling force of the seat belt, the hull stabilized and gradually drove back. Qi Shuning breathed a sigh of relief, shook off Su Jianian's hand, and said in a cold voice, then just say it, and then you won't have a better time. Su Jianian's expression changed again. Qi Shuning has calmed down. There is no camera here, and no one knows that she did it. She could only pray that Si fucking would not survive. Hashtag Southern Sea Tornado hashtag. Hashtag Survival 66 days hashtag. Hashtag Sci-fi hashtag. 66 Days of Survival has already aired 1/3, plus there is a bug in the Invincible show Si fucking, the popularity is far more than other variety shows. Not to mention, the influence of other people in the program group is not low. Yuan Heping is a veteran actor, and Su Jianian is the top actor. Shen Ziyuan is also a member of the Heaven and Earth Alliance. All of a sudden, the internet set off a storm. The whole network exploded. Isn't Nanwuhe always calm? Why is there a tornado all of a sudden? Alas, the sea is still unfathomable, who knows what will happen? I don't think it should be. Daxiatai has always been cautious, and the first aid measures are also very complete. They have not reached the depths of the Nanwu Sea, which is the edge, and it is also the route that other ships usually travel, so there is something tricky. Not only the program group, there must be many fishermen and tourists, and the rescue team. Link Hongziuojia. Xianyu, let me tell you something that's gratifying. Recently MRS Zou's face was full of spring. I've been waiting for that bastard to be unlucky, and finally let me wait. Zhou Xianyu hasn't had a good time for a while now. She looked sullen. What's the matter? Isn't she filming a variety show in Nanzhou? MRS Zhou said. This is great. I went to the sea to film a variety show and encountered a tornado at sea. The rescue team was dispatched. They didn't find her. She deserved it. The survival show was filmed, and it turned into a real survival. Madame Zhou was very happy, and only felt a bad breath. Sea tornado. Zhou Xianyu was also taken aback. She asked subconsciously, so is she dead? Good morning. Thank you for your tickets and rewards equal 3 equals. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 207. It must be dead. Madame Zhou was in a good mood. It was reported in the news that she was in the center of the sea tornado, and this time the sea tornado was not small, with a diameter of 100 meters, and the rescue team drove the boat to. If she can't get in, can she survive? Sea tornadoes are tiny compared to typhoons, which can be up to a kilometer in diameter. But its winds are stronger, often accompanied by storms and even tsunamis. The chances of survival are very small. What's more, the public did not know at all that the sea tornado this time was not a natural disaster. Instead, there are onmyoji who wantonly use the power of yin and yang and the 5 elements to destroy the balance of the 5 elements here, resulting in the birth of the sea tornado. The power will only be greater. Whether or not he will leave Nanwuhe will depend on when this onmyoji will stop cultivating. Xianyu, her broom star has brought a lot of disasters to our family, and she has finally suffered. MRS Zhou only felt proud, died at sea. There is no one to collect her body. Her son became a vegetative, and her daughter was locked in a prison in Sijukan. Madame Zhou remembered all this on Sci-fi's head. Zhou Xianyu pursed her lips and began to search the internet for relevant news. The earliest news happened 15 minutes ago, when the live broadcast of 66 Days of Survival was just cut off. Judging from the live broadcast, the scale of the sea tornado is indeed not small, and several fishing boats have been overturned. If this is involved, there is indeed no possibility of survival. Sci-fi's latest fitness sharing Weibo has soared to 100,000 comments. The mooses were all flustered. King, your luck has always been good, you must be fine. Sister Ching, you said last month that you would wait to see me take the international entrance exam. You will be fine, right? The wife is a koi. It will be alright? She also wants to join the group to film. The black fan keyboard warrior's mouth has always been dirty, and the words that he typed are more vicious and vicious. Laughing a few minutes ago, the live broadcast said that he wanted to draw good luck charms for fans. A few minutes later, he encountered the sea dragon roll. This good luck charm is a bad luck charm, and I have to finish playing it. Worshipping God for so long, Sci-fi is finally going to die, and the whole world celebrates. I hope everyone else is okay. Sci-fi had better be okay. At the same time, in a town far away from Water Dragon Island, Feng San's expression changed, and he lost his voice. Ninth brother, over there. They were in town, quite far apart, but there was no small movement from the sea tornado. Even after a distance of hundreds of kilometers, you can still see that one end of the sea tornado is connected to the thunder and lightning cumulus clouds in the sky, and the other end extends under the water surface, constantly moving back and forth on the sea surface. Terrible natural phenomenon. Uzian opened her eyes, and her eyes dimmed instantly. Miss Si and the others are going to sea today. Feng San became anxious. Ninth brother, we. Before he finished speaking, he could only feel a gust of wind passing by, and Uzian was no longer in the room. On the table, the tea in the cup is still hot. Feng San was stunned for a moment. He is not an evolver, and his movements are much slower than Uzian. He grabbed his mobile phone and ran out immediately, dialing the number with one hand, canyoning, "Hurry up, let my family bring someone here, why are you asking so much, something big has happened." Nanwuhe disasters have always been rare, but several emergency rescue teams are also equipped. The rescue team has already sailed to the sea, but it is impossible to face a sea tornado of this level. As soon as you get close, the ship is in danger of being sucked into the sky. The rescue team has also faced many natural disasters, but such a strange sea tornado is still unheard of. They had no choice but to turn to the supernatural authority. "Ching Ching will be fine," Ning Luiao wiped the water from her face. She was wearing a seat belt when she went to sea, as long as the seat belt is still. Her words stopped, and her expression changed suddenly, because she saw the broken seat belt swaying in the wind in the bow. A team member shook his head. "The seat belt is useless, the strength of the sea spout, even the rope we use is useless." "Wait." The rescue captain squatted down and unbuckled the seat belt. From his experience, he can recognize at a glance that this was not interrupted by force, but interrupted by a sharp weapon, deliberately. The rescue captain was trembling for a while. Who would do such a thing at such a time? Only the people on the boat. He raised his head and glanced sharply. Chi Shunning kept his head down, huddled in the corner, trembling all over, obviously frightened. She folded her arms and muttered words. The rescue team was helpless. Si fucking must be dead. Only when Si fucking is dead will she not be exposed. We can only wait for the people from the Super Control Bureau to come over. The rescue captain took a deep breath. This time it is not easy and needs to be reported. Not just natural disasters, but deliberate murders. Just as everyone was anxiously waiting on Water Dragon Island, the center of the sea spout, Si fucking was holding a little girl in her early teens to swim out. She had been soaking in the water for so long that her skin had turned pale. "Sister, let me go, you can't swim with me." The little girl's voice was weak, and her tears kept falling. "You will die too. The town here is close to the sea, and the residents of the town are all in their early teens who go to sea with their elders, and the water is also excellent. But in the face of the sea tornado, there is still no resistance. Stop talking, the oxygen is about to run out, keep breathing." Si fucking didn't let go, but hugged her tighter. "We can get out, we can get out." She exhaled slowly, but the hand holding the little girl's hand was shaking. She hates water. Especially the deep sea. After Ye Wanlin passed away, during that period of time, every day and every night, as soon as she closed her eyes, she could recall Ye Wanlin being swallowed by the vortex under the sea, and she couldn't grasp that hand. Therefore, Si fucking also suffered from a serious deep sea phobia. She never goes to the beach. Even if she enters the game, she walks around the sea. It didn't recover until a few years later. Now back to that time of fear. Not the fear of the sea, but the fear of life disappearing before her eyes. Boom. The sky and the earth were dark, the waves were turbulent, and the black clouds were almost pressing on the sea. At this moment, it was as if a scene from 8 years ago was unfolding before my eyes. In the blurred vision, Si fucking seemed to see Ye Wanlin's face, saw a familiar smile, and heard a familiar voice. "Little Ching, live. Live." These are the last 3 words Ye Wanlin left in this world. Then, she watched helplessly as Yewanlin let go of her hand, fell into the endless sea, and was completely swallowed up. The endless sea, the first of the 10 evil places in Eternal, is even more unfathomable than the Ghost Valley. Ghost Valley still has at least some data in the game management system for players to consult, while Endless Sea has none at all. Eternal is the beginning of hope and the end of despair. I fucking couldn't imagine that it was just less than a month that Yewanlin and Lu Qingning died one after another in eternity, and the funeral people didn't need to be changed. They enter the game to train and take quests. Unlike ordinary players, they are linked to the Abyss mode. The Abyss mode is more mentally engaged than the sleep mode, and the human consciousness and brain waves will be activated faster. So in the Abyss mode, the time ratio of holographic games and reality is 100:1. 1 year in reality, 100 years in the Eternal continent. This way, she is also able to learn more skills. But correspondingly, the cost of linking to the Abyss mode is also high. The 5 senses will be simulated more realistically, indistinguishable from reality. If you die in Abyss mode, you are completely dead. Not even a corpse. She promised her sister that she would live. She wants to live with the beliefs of Yewanlin and Lu Qingning. I fucking closed his eyes, restrained his emotions, and swam faster. After a few minutes, she finally left the center of the tornado with the little girl, but the storm was still there and there were many shipwrecks around. It's safe here. I fucking put the little girl on a boatboard and fastened her with the rest of the seat belt. I also want to confirm whether there are other people over there. You will reach the island smoothly, tell other people I'll be alright so they don't worry. After being in the sea for so long, the little girl was also exhausted. She said with a pale face, "Sister, don't go back, your strength will be exhausted, you have already saved a lot of people, you." No. Fu poured out a sip of water, and she smiled, "Who am I?" She slowly dived into the bottom of the sea, and the words Lu Qingning had been talking about echoed in her ears. "We are the Eternal Four, and we will not lose." 2 hours later, the sea tornado showed no sign of leaving the sea area, and its power only increased. In the ward, the director woke up slowly, and the first thing he did when he opened his eyes was to grab the assistant director and hurriedly said, "Where's Teacher Si?" Before he fell into a coma, he only remembered that Si fucking caught him in the waves, seemed to push him onto the boat, and then jumped back into the sea. The assistant director turned pale. No news. But in fact, after such a long time, Si fucking was in the center of the sea tornado again, and it was almost certain that she had no chance of surviving. The other show crews and fishermen were rescued one after another, but Si fucking was still absent. The director covered his eyes and choked, "I hurt her, I shouldn't have invited her to film the show, she's still so young, she." Although he lost a lot of hair because of Si fucking, he did appreciate Si fucking. There are too few talented people in the entertainment industry, and what is lacking is someone like Si fucking who has something to do in person. How did things get to this point? The director is very self-blame. The assistant director, who has always been offline, was speechless. Outside, the occult authority has arrived. It's people from the headquarters. "Trash," Xia Yangkaiu slammed on the table, "am I raising you all to eat? You can't even save yourself, so you stand at your posts and don't work." The evolutionists stationed in Nanzhou were scolded and stunned. Master, calm down." Beside Xia Yangkaiu, a middle-aged man hurriedly said, "We will carry out a new round of search and rescue." "No need," Xia Yangkaiu said coldly, "my mother will go in person." This sentence shocked the evolutionists stationed in Nanzhou to the ground. There are only 3 main seats in the supernatural administration, and it must be a supernatural event above the B level to alert the high level. A sea tornado, how can the main seat be disturbed? "This matter is different." The young man's expression was solemn. "It's definitely not my Daxia's evolutionary action, otherwise it is impossible for the Lingmeng to find out. My preliminary estimate is that there are Dongsangs on Myoji cultivation or the evolutionary of the western continent. The energy is running wild, and this person must be found. Xia Yangkai frowned, who are you? I've seen the main seat in the downwind Nanhua. The young man clasped his fists. I also asked the main seat to be calm. The Feng family's rescue team is also doing all they can to search the scene, and they will definitely bring people back. The three great families, the Feng family. The Wind family is good at strategy. The prime ministers, chief assistants, and military advisors of the great Xia dynasty all came from the Feng family. The Feng family once relied on 10,000 elite soldiers to force back the barbarian army of 200,000. It seems to be the weakest family, but without the Feng family, the great Xia dynasty could not last 1,000 years. Xia Yangkai looked ugly and walked out. Nanwuhe is the border of the coastline, and the ship will drive a few hundred kilometers ahead and it will leave the great Xia Empire. It is not under the control of the supernatural administration, and there are also many forces under the evolutionary alliance. But who would have thought that such a thing would happen in this place, and SI fucking was also involved. If something happened to SI fucking today, she couldn't forgive herself at all. At this moment, another series of footsteps came, mixed with a few reprimands. What about the people? Haven't been rescued yet? How long has it been since then? The voice was stern. You guys, so many people can't even save a little girl. If you can't, give me the stuff and I'll go in. The middle-aged man following Xia Yangkai saw the face of the person who came, and he paused. Gu, President Gu. I wrote a little excited and almost forfeited it. It has always been an update of 9,000 to 10,000 words, and the time is very stable. Please ask for a monthly ticket. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 208. The middle-aged man was a little messy for a while, and his mouth widened when he saw Gu Huiyan who broke in. Not to mention whether the sea tornado this time is man-made or a natural disaster, and whether it is a disaster, it is beyond reproach if it is managed by the supernatural administration or Feng Jiaguan. But what about the TND Alliance? Heaven and Earth Alliance does not have any force value. After entering modern society, they are busy participating in various international art competitions and cultivating the younger generation. As one of the two presidents of the Heaven and Earth Alliance, Gu Huiyan has long since disappeared and has been behind the scenes. Every day, the circle of friends gathers likes and lives a comfortable retirement life. Xia Yangkai temporarily couldn't stand because of his temper and couldn't stand other people's troubles in Daxia, but how could Gu Huiyan, such a free-spirited wild crane, also come? Gu Huiyan glanced at him with a frown, and suddenly remembered, headquarters of the supernatural administration. I was fortunate enough to meet President Gu a few times, the middle-aged man respectfully said. President Gu still remembers me. Hearing this sentence, Gu Huiyan shook his body suddenly, and his face gradually turned pale. The people at the headquarters of the occult administration were all dispatched, and no one was found. What does this mean? It means that the possibility of SI fucking surviving is almost impossible. Old Gu Xia Yangkai said in a deep voice, you can wait in peace, she will be fine. After she finished speaking, she walked out quickly. Gu Huiyan reluctantly calmed down and looked at Xia Yangkai's back. This is the main seat, the middle-aged man said hurriedly. The main seat will go out in person and will definitely catch the culprit this time. Gu Huiyan put some snacks. Although it is said that the four major alliances of the three major families have not communicated much now, there is still information exchange between them. The masters of supernatural management are all A-level evolutionaries with extremely high strength. That's good, Gu Huiyan wiped his sweat. Please let me know if you have any news. He came all the way without rest, and was so tired that he collapsed on the sofa. Definitely, the middle-aged man nodded in response. He went to get food for Gu Huiyan, and finally couldn't hold back on the way back. He grabbed Gu Huiyan's apprentice, "Who is this Miss Si? Can Gu Huiyan make a trip in person?" Gu Huiyan's apprentice thought for a while, and then politely said, "It's the teacher's heir." He didn't say that Gu Huiyan wanted to send out the Heaven and Earth Alliance directly. It's not good to scare others. The middle-aged man took a deep breath, and before he could ask any further questions, a trumpet sound suddenly came from outside. There are dark red flags fluttering in the wind. There is a big 1000 written on it. 1000 Army Alliance. As soon as the people from the Qinjun League arrived, they joined the Feng family and started search and rescue at sea together. The leader is Zhang Shuiyan. Feng Nanhua was stunned. "Brother Zhang." Zhang Shuiyan was Mu Qingmen's personal guard, and he was also the confidant of the Qinjun Alliance leader, with a very high status. There have always been rumors in the Qinjun League that Zhang Shuiyan is a descendant of the Zhang family. However, he himself seems to be hidden, and he has not shown much of his strength. Brother Feng. Zhang Shuiyan nodded slightly. "Meet again." Mu Qingmen had been watching the live broadcast of Sci-fi's program. The first time the live broadcast was interrupted, she asked Zhang Shuiyan to bring the Qinjunmen people straight to Nanzhou. Died. It is necessary to find Sci-fi to ensure that she is unscathed. The middle-aged man stood there, as if struck by lightning. In this battle, he thought he had returned to the great Xia dynasty. Where Emperor Yin's sword pointed, the 7 armies all bowed their heads and obeyed orders. It's just the Ji family and the Divine Doctor Alliance. Today, the 3 major families and the 4 major alliances will gather together, right? What day is today? No one knew that the Ji family had actually arrived. It's just that Ji Xingzi came alone, and his movements were slower than other forces. Because of the sudden disaster, the port was blocked and all ships were prohibited from going to sea. He had no choice but to find a board and use the power of yin and yang and 5 elements to control the movement, and the speed was quite fast. Ji Xingzi surveyed the surroundings. Although he knew that Sci-fi was very powerful, he also knew that something had happened to her, which was greatly reduced compared to the past. In case something happens. Ji Xingzi didn't dare to think about it, and prayed, "Brother, you must not have any trouble." The journey went smoothly, and there was no smell of death detected. Ji Xingzi's breath eased. Until a thunderous sound fell from the top of his head, and at the same time his arms were twisted back and turned into twists. Xia Yangkai controlled Ji Xingzi with one hand. "Who are you, kid? Did you do this today? Very good, my mother is not finished with you." Wait, Ji Xingzi was stunned for a moment, and hurriedly said, "This eldest sister, do you see me as someone who has done bad things? I am the eldest of the 62nd generation of the Ji family." Ji's family, Xia Yangkai narrowed her eyes, but she believed it, and she let go. "Sorry, it turns out that Ji's family is here too." It seems that the Feng family deduced well, this matter is indeed related to the Onmyoji. Ji Xing sensed that something was wrong. "What is it?" Xia Yangkai was too lazy to speak, so he took out his credentials. The 6 words of the occupational authority are clear. "That's the Mo family." Xia Yangkai pointed to the fighter jet in the sky, and then pointed to the search and rescue ship at sea. "That's the Feng family. Why are you the only one from the Ji family? It's not enough to see." Ji Xingzi. What? He wasn't the first to come to save his elder brother. Did his elder brother call someone else? "I'm enough alone, they can't." Ji Xingzi rubbed his shoulders. What kind of violent maniacs are the people in this supernatural administration? Although his skills are not bad, it is impossible for him to compete with the evolutionary force without using the power of yin and yang and 5 elements. "Do you have any clue?" Xia Yangkai frowned. "Can you feel where the Onmyoji is?" Although Onmyoji and evolvers are not ordinary people, the difference is not generally big. "I'm big, yes, I noticed the coordinates of the Onmyoji, and he is still there. Ji Xingzi nodded. In the eastern sea area of Nanwuhe, there are several islands at the junction with Dongling Sea. He's up there. Okay, Xia Yangkai's eyes sank. Come on, let's go over now and catch this turtle, grandson. The Xia people are really tired of living. That's necessary. I must let this grandson of the turtle die for the young master. Ji Xingzi was about to control his board and go on, when his shoulders were suddenly caught again. Xia Yangkai's voice came from above his head. Boy, hold on tight, there are sharks in the sea, don't fall off for a while. In the next second, the two of them speeded up and went straight to the east. Ji Xingzi, who suddenly vacated the air. He's going to go around the occult authority for the rest of his life. What kind of perverts are these evolutionaries? They are simply crazy. The other side. Sci-fi had already dived into the deep sea. Search and rescue boats can't get down. After confirming that she had not missed another person, she was finally relieved. But she had saved so many people, but she couldn't save Ye Yuan. Sci-fi took a deep breath and prepared to go to sea. After swimming in the sea for so long, her hands and feet were a little numb. She knew she had to get out as soon as possible, or she might not have the strength to surface again. But at this moment, a hand suddenly stretched out from somewhere, grabbed her wrist tightly, and brought her up. The nerve was compressed again. Sci-fi's eyes suddenly changed. He raised his head suddenly, his elbows bent, and his strength was about to explode. But when she raised her head to see the owner of the hand, she couldn't help but startled. Yu Xian looked at her with deep eyes. The white shirt clings to his strong muscular lines, and the water waves float. Sci-fi knew that the sea area she was in was very dangerous, and evolutionaries whose danger was below the B level could not enter, not to mention that not all evolutionary genes were combat type. Moreover, the Nanwu Sea is huge, she is under the sea, and the life detector can't be found. How did Yu Xian find her? Before Sci-fi regained his senses, he held on tighter. His other hand clasped her waist and wrapped her directly in his arms. Yu Xian didn't speak, her brows and eyes were as calm and steady as she was used to seeing. She just carried her upstream, and soon came to the sea. The sea spout was still rolling in the waters over there. The wreckage of the shattered ship was pushed in all directions by the waves. They are some distance away from Water Dragon Island and the town, but luckily there is a big rock next to them. Sci-fi was finally able to speak. Boss. I'm here. His hand was still holding her waist, and the other hand tapped the headset to contact the nearest search and rescue aircraft. The girl was wet, her face was covered with water, dripping down the ends of her hair. Even the lips are purple. She stayed in the sea for nearly 4 hours. Tired physically and mentally. Coupled with the boundless deep sea oppressing her nerves, yet Turning's death was repeated in front of her again and again. Sci-fi had never felt so tired before. At the moment Yu Xian was beside him, and they also came to the shore. Safe. But after the oppression disappeared, the exchange was even greater exhaustion. Boss, I'm a little sleepy. Sci-fi's voice was getting lower and lower. I want to sleep for a while. After saying this, she loosened her body, let go of all her strength, and fell to the ground. Those strong and slender arms were still around her waist, and then he picked her up by the waist. Yu Xian held the girl in her arms firmly in her arms, and then raised her head. Her eyes were already pitch black. There were also several search and rescue aircraft dispatched by the Mo family in the sky, buzzing. On the other side, is Feng's marine rescue team. Today is a grand occasion. The 4 major alliances of the 3 major families will gather together. 1500 years after Emperor Yin's death, these 7 forces finally met again. Although they don't know each other yet, who the other party came from. On the search and rescue plane, Yu Xian's terrifyingly calm voice came from the earphones. The others have also stopped their search and rescue, and go to the east. Come here. Feng San's nerves were tense, and he immediately responded, letting Shenying turn the plane around. Canyoning immediately got up. What's going on? What did Brother Ju say? Ninth brother found Miss Si. Feng San breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, 9 brothers found it. If it is the one who caused the sea tornado, Miss Si will suffer. That's good, that's good. Canyon is also relieved. As soon as Brother Ju's legs are good, there is no way to stop him. Only a few trusted brothers of Yuzian knew about Yuzian's recovery of her legs. The rest of the Mo family still don't know. Shenying flew the plane with all her might, and said, I'd love to meet you for what you said about her so wonderfully. Feng San nodded, then we have to wait for Miss Si to recover. She is quite tired this time. You don't have to ask him to know that the show cruise boat is obviously fine in the center, only Si fucking took the shot. Actually, Miss Si isn't that good either, Canyon suddenly said. If she's that good, why would Brother Ninth let us build that gun? She must have gotten it on her own, so she must be very bad at it. Shenying thought thoughtfully, is that so? Feng San's eyelids jumped, he pulled Canyon over, and lowered his voice, what are you doing? Why are you talking nonsense with your eyes open? If Si fucking skills were poor, would he still make the elite disciples of the Kinjun League willing to be bodyguards? The kind that can't be driven away. I'm just a little unwilling to lose 12 months of salary. Canyon fell into the air. Your thighs are tight, but this brother doesn't. I want him to accompany me. Feng San. He didn't know what to say for a while, so he could only call out Niobe. The search and rescue plane quickly arrived at the location of Yuzian and Si fucking. Canyoning Pitian Padian stepped forward, 9th brother, I'll come. Yuzian didn't let go, hugged Si fucking around the canyon, and got on the plane. Canyoning. He couldn't figure it out, so he could only follow. Feng San glanced at him and said with contempt, no wonder you can't hold your thighs. That's it? Do you have any vision? I still want to hug Miss Si, do you agree? Canyon fell even more puzzled. What does this have to do with me not being able to hold my thighs? I obviously want to share my worries for the 9th brother. Is there anything wrong with what he's doing? Feng San was too lazy to talk to him and went to fly the plane. There was a bed on the plane. Yuzian put Si fucking down. He wiped her body with a towel in one hand, while the other hand picked up the wet hair on her forehead and tested the temperature of her forehead. Some fever? Shenying knows some medical skills, and after taking his pulse, Miss Si should be frightened, but her body is not in the way. There are emergency medicines on the plane. Brother Ninth, I will bring you to feed Miss Si to eat, and then we will go to the Divine Medical Alliance immediately. Yuzian hummed, and covered the quilt with Si fucking, with a cool tone, check. The 3 looked stern, and knelt down on one knee, yes. No one else knows about Si fucking being rescued safely. The 3 major families and the 4 major alliances gathered at the seaside, and the injured were sent to the town's hospital, and doctors and nurses came in and out. This time the sea tornado affected hundreds of people, but miraculously, no one was seriously injured and dying. Many fishermen woke up the first time and hurriedly asked Si fucking how he was doing in his native dialect. They don't know Si fucking, and they have no interest in film and television dramas. They only know that he is a beautiful star. After Gu Huiyan got the news, he couldn't help but take a few steps back. He was a little unbelievable, and more sad. With such a big sea tornado, she actually wanted to save others. Protecting yourself is not selfish. It's just that in the face of the severe situation of death, many people make this choice. Si fucking was also very young, less than 20 years old. Why are you thinking about sacrificing? If she hadn't turned back to rescue these fishermen and workers, with her survivability, she would have been able to reach the shore as soon as possible. She can completely ignore other people. The more Gu Huiyan thought about it, the more sad he became. He took a deep breath, I haven't found anyone yet. What about the first rescue team? Call them here, and I want to ask what was the situation at the time. The rescue team from Nanzhou came quickly. They also didn't expect that the Heaven and Earth Alliance would intervene in this matter. When asked by Gu Huiyan, the rescue captain said without any hesitation, "President Gu, there is something I have to say." He could conclude that the people on the boat had manipulated Sci-fi seat belt. But the people on that ship had different backgrounds. But Gu Huiyan is here, who else can compare? The rescue captain did not know Zhang Shuiyan, nor did he know that Qin Junmen was also here. Gu Huiyan's expression became serious. "You said?" "I think Miss C's seat belt was cut by someone with a sharp weapon," the rescue captain said. "There is a toolbox on the boat, and there are many tools in it, and scissors can do it. If the seat belt is not broken, we can completely judge Miss C's position through the seat belt, so this is man-made and deliberate murder." As soon as these words came out, the atmosphere in the hall instantly condensed. The smile on Zhang Shuiyan's face gradually subsided, and his eyes changed. Aside, the first thought of the middle-aged man was that Xia Yangkai was not there. If Xia Yangkai was here, with her violent temper, this hall might just disappear. "Go to the boat and see if there is any camera equipment." Gu Huiyan smiled, annoyed. "Ask the other people on the boat to see if they saw it, and I will find out about this matter. No matter who did it, I have to arrest me." Instead, he wanted to see, which one with no eyes dared to frame and bully his apprentice who had not yet abducted him. Good morning. New week for tickets -3-. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 209. Gu Huiyan had never been so angry before. Sci-fi was saving people, but someone wanted her life behind her back. It's even possible that this person is one of the people she has rescued. It's just a wolf-hearted dog. The rescue captain nodded and immediately went to check the two ships where the program team was located. Because to ensure all-round shooting, not only the photography team, but also some directional cameras are strapped to the boat, which may be able to find traces. I went to the witnesses' side myself. Gu Huiyan couldn't sit still. Who were the people on that boat at that time? I want to ask them one by one. Fen Nanhua collected his thoughts. Elder Gu, please come here. Zhang Shuiyan smiled. I'll go too. Several people left. The middle-aged man breathed a sigh of relief. He put his hands together and began to pray that Sci-fi would be okay. After all, Xia Yangkai's temper. The middle-aged man couldn't help shivering. No wonder the young master ran to Glenn as soon as he was free. Maybe only Mr. Yun could accept the master's temper. Here, the search and rescue plane stopped at a private hotel. The people of the Divine Medical Alliance are already waiting. Knowing that it was Yu Xian's order, the elders Taizhang, who had not been down the mountain for 800 years, came running. After repeated inspections, the elder Taizhang determined that it was indeed a very common fever. But he didn't dare to be negligent, and immediately had someone take the best medicine, and after giving Sci-fi a few more injections, he got up. "Mr. Yu, don't worry." The elder Taizhang clasped his fists. "This girl's physique is not ordinary, but she is frightened. She needs to calm down." Yu Xian didn't speak. The elder Taizhang winked and withdrew. Yu Xian looked at the girl lying on the bed silently. Her lips turned bloody, but her face was still pale. He whispered, "Are you scared?" He didn't know how courageous Sci-fi was. What did he see? He was so shocked that he fell ill. Yu Xian picked up a clean towel and wiped the sweat from her forehead, realizing that she was very uneasy. He paused and took her hand. Sci-fi was dreaming. In the dream, she returned to a long time ago, when the Eternal Four were still there. At that time, she took over the task of the division, changed her face, broke into Glenn under the name of Yun Lan, and finished the first movie. Sister, she hugged Ye Wanlan's arm, sister, I made a movie and was shortlisted for Glenn, and I'm going to be the best actress. Ye Wanlan laughed, why are you so good, you can act well. I used your name, elder sister. She was in high spirits, this is equivalent to both of us winning awards, elder sister, you will come to see me off stage. Most of the brothers and sisters in the division will not be called by their real names, and they don't even know each other's real names. Except for the identity of the sixth senior brother who is Duke Miston, it is difficult to know. Even the second senior brother and third senior sister who have the closest relationship with her only call her Xiaju. Only in front of Ye Wanlan, Lu Qingning and Yu Huixia can she find her true self. However, by the time she stood on Glenn's podium, turning the night was no longer in sight. For Ye Wanlan, the time will always stop at the year when she was 21 years old. Young, fresh life, just turned into a gray photo. Sister. Si fucking frowned, and his body trembled. Not only that, the bed was shaking, the cabinet was shaking, and even the ground was shaking. Yu Xian's expression finally changed. It felt all too familiar to him. The power of evolution is rampant. Yu Xian leaned down, put her hand on top of her head, and pressed the other hand on her shoulder. Calm down, I'm here, there's nothing I can't solve, calm down first, okay. His voice was calm and powerful, as if it could penetrate all nightmares and break through the dark clouds. Gradually, Si fucking calmed down slowly. After a while, her consciousness was completely awake. After a few seconds of silence, she opened her eyes, blinked, and found herself in a light blue bedroom. Boss, Si fucking rubbed his head. The first time he saw the man, he spoke without thinking, can you not deduct my salary? For the first time, Yu Xian was also annoyed with laughter. He stood up, looked down at him a little, and his expression became colder. I think you are a little awake now. Si fucking made an emergency remedy, boss, wait for me to find an excuse to quibble. As soon as he finished speaking, Si fucking said. No, what is she talking about? Yu Xian got up and went to the table next to him to get a bowl with freshly cooked Chinese medicine in it. Drink the medicine. Si fucking smelled a strong smell of traditional Chinese medicine. She turned her head and said unhappily, bitter. But in the next second, her head was ripped off. Yu Xian put one hand on the back of her head and said in a low voice, eat the candy after drinking. This is not the strength he would use before, it can be said to be mandatory. Si fucking estimated her current physical strength, and then suffocated the medicine in one gulp. Where's the sugar? Yu Xian sighed, stretched out her hand, and opened her palm. It's a big white rabbit toffee. Hey, boss, how do you know that I want to eat a big white rabbit? Si fucking's eyes lit up, I dreamed of it just now. Every time she was injured, she went to Ye Wanlan to bandage the wound, and Ye Wanlan would give her a white rabbit toffee to calm her nerves. Very sweet. It still seems to be in memory. But the man is no longer there. After Si fucking finished eating the candy, he raised his head, where are the others? Yu Xian said in a low voice, I've been transferred to the hospital in the town, it's alright. That's good. Si fucking was relieved, I'm still afraid that I won't find all of them. Have a good rest. His hand fell on top of her head, touching her head very gently. His temperature and the moonlight cinnamon on his body were also transmitted through this action, including his breathing. There was a moment of confusion. Si fucking took the cup from him again and drank the water happily. Well, I will let the director and them rest for a while before continuing to shoot the show. This time it was indeed an accident. I don't know if Ji Xingzi has arrested the Onmyoji who disturbed the power of yin and yang and the 5 elements of heaven and earth. When she regains some strength, She must hammer this on my OG to death. Uzion paused, put his hand down, stopped for a few seconds before speaking again, and his voice was not warm at all. I'm talking about you. I'm fine. I fucking touched the bracelet on his wrist and closed his eyes with confidence. Then I'll sleep a little longer, boss, call me if you have something. Soon her breathing calmed down again and she fell into a deep sleep again. Uzion looked at her quietly, her expression softened, and sighed, really? The latter words were not finished. He turned around and pushed the door open. Feng San Heezijiang was at the door. Seeing Uzion coming out, Feng San stepped forward. Ninth brother, is Miss Si okay? My body is fine. Uzion's voice was cold, my mind is stupid. Feng San. What's the situation? That's incredible, Kenyan said hurriedly. Ninth brother, we have to invite someone from the neurology department to see this. Miss Si is so good looking, so she can't be ignorant. Feng San covered his mouth tightly. Shut up, do you want to die? Ninth brother, Shenying said that he has found the person who wants Miss C's life. Feng San glanced at the phone. He said he will bring the person back in a while. Yeah, Uzion's expression remained unmoved. Things are ready. There is absolutely no problem. Kenyan broke free from Feng San's control and jumped up again. I promise to make this dog regret appearing in this world. Hospital in the town. In the ward. Qi Shuning's mentor had originally been collecting folklore here in Nanzhou. After learning of the accident, he came over quickly. Shuning, are you all right? The instructor was very worried. Oh, I shouldn't have asked you to sign up for this show in the first place. Why did something like this happen? Fortunately you weren't injured, otherwise I wouldn't be able to explain to your family. Qi Shuning's expression was pale and his eyes were dodging a little. I'm fine, I just have a headache, maybe it's a sequelae, just sleep for a while. She didn't hear that Si fucking was still alive, and the rescue team didn't come again. Si fucking must be dead. Anyway, if a sea dragon of that level gets in, it's a dead end. Even if she did cut Si fucking seat belt, it couldn't be blamed on her. It will surely pass. When Si fucking dies, the show will get back on track, and she can have more shots, which is great. Headache? Then you have to take a good look. The instructor was anxious. If there are any sequelae, that would be incredible. Teacher, it's all right. Qi Shuning smiled. I really need more rest. You dash. Bang. The door was suddenly kicked open at this moment, interrupting Qi Shuning's words. A group of people broke in, aggressively. Qi Shuning had a ghost in her heart. She screamed and hid behind her mentor. What are you doing? This is the ward, don't disturb the patient's rest. The instructor frowned, a little displeased. Don't you know that the patient needs to rest? Patient, Zhang Shuiyan smiled, still gentle, but his voice was cold. She is not a patient, she is a prisoner, take it away. Immediately, the guards of the Qinjun League stepped forward and directly dragged Qi Shuning off the bed. Qi Shuning screamed louder, don't touch me. Get out. Get out. The instructor's expression changed. What prisoner? You make it clear. Who are you? Zhang Shuiyan didn't say much, and left with Qi Shuning. As soon as he walked out, he was blocked. Sorry. Shenying smiled politely. This person, our lord wants it, and also asks your excellency Hai Han. Zhang Shuiyan raised his head. The moment the two looked at each other, they already understood that the other party was also an evolutionary. Shenying smiled, not trapped in Zhang Shuiyan's aura, nor did he retreat. Okay. Zhang Shuiyan finally took a step back and handed Qi Shuning into Shenying's hands. I want a video, otherwise it won't be easy for madam to explain. Definitely. Shenying tied Qi Shuning. The Lord will not disappoint the Qinjun League, nor will you disappoint Miss Si. Qi Shuning's brain was completely in a state of insanity. She didn't realize what happened at all, so she was tied up and taken to a private hotel. This hotel is facing the sea, deep and quiet, With birds singing and flowers fragrant, it is a treasure of feng shui. Qi Shuning breathed a sigh of relief. Looks like someone has come to rescue her. The group of people who broke into the war just now were ferocious and frightened her. However, Qi Shuning's tone was not completely Panasonic. Before she could take 2 steps, she was kicked onto a large balcony with a view. This is a sea view room. The swimming pool under the balcony opens directly to the sea. Qi Shuning's face was instantly pale, his eyes were wide and bloodshot at the corners of his eyes. Because she saw sharks. There are as many as 9 sharks, circling the balcony. Shenying naturally found it, and he looked at the canyoning strangely. Where did you get it? It was raised by Feng's family. Canyon threw a few pieces of meat into the water. I borrowed it for use. I haven't eaten for several days, and I'm hungry. Okay, Shenying nodded. You still have this IQ. Canyon fell furious, and was about to step forward to fight with Shenying. Footsteps sounded. The two clasped their fists and saluted respectfully. Ninth brother. Qi Shuning raised his head tremblingly, and when he saw the man's face, he was stunned. The top-notch men in the entertainment industry who are praised for their looks are simply not as good as the people in front of them. The word upside-down sentient beings is not exaggerated at all or even inferior to him. Ninth brother, she did it, Shenying said. She cut it because she was afraid that the seat belt on Miss Si would pull the boat back, so there is a video and witnesses. I'm afraid that she will run away before time. Brought her. The surrounding temperature cooled down at a perceptible rate. Qi Shuning snapped back to his senses and shuddered. No, it wasn't me, I didn't do it. You caught the wrong person. Yu Xian finally raised her head. Her eyes did not distinguish between joy and anger. He slowly said 3 words, put it down. This should be an alternative combination of ancient and modern, not just sweet and refreshing writing, but also some history. The scum abuse has begun. Babies vote for monthly votes. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 210. These 3 words made Qi Shuning's blood almost flow backwards. She looked at Yu Xian in disbelief, her eyes widened. He is clearly a man like the bright moon and the breeze, how could he say such cruel words? Come on, Canyon stepped forward decisively. Ninth brother, this shark was carefully cultivated by the Feng family. Unlike the wild ones in the sea, it has a good mouth. Yeah, Yu Xian propped her head up and praised her. You did a good job. Looking at those sharks, Qi Shuning screamed and kept backing up with his hands. You, who are you? She thought it was safe for her to escape from Zhang Shuiyan, who knew she would come to a more terrifying place. What the hell are these people? Why are sharks still being farmed? Are you crazy? I warn you, Qi Shuning's face was pale and pale. I am the new pillar of Daxiatai, and my grandmother came from a wealthy family in the 49 cities. If you dare to touch me, you will be finished. There is indeed capital behind her, otherwise she would not have become the new pillar of Daxiatai so early. There are people who are more senior than her. No matter which circle it is, there must be a backstage, otherwise, where will you be able to stand out? Qi Shuning is ready to wait for the recording of the show to take over a new show on Daxia. After that, she may be selected as the host of the Spring Festival Gala. Why did these people tie her up? Yu Xian looked indifferent, looking down without any emotion. As if back to many years ago, he was sitting on the golden dragon chair, watching the prisoners under the steps struggle to the death. Emperor Yin was never a perfect emperor. He had his cruel side. He had the world in his mind, had compassion for the world, and even personally cultivated and experienced the sufferings of the world. But in the face of the enemy, there has never been a word for softness in the dictionary. There are too many human lives on the hands of the emperor. Not to mention that when the 16th son seized the heir, and his biological brother was secretly framed, he did not have any kindness. In the following year, more than 5,000 eunuchs and filthy officials were beheaded, and the turbulent court was suppressed by means of thunder, and no one dared to make a sound. He knew how to hold a sword like a man at the age of 6. There are many records of this in the history books, and there are many criticisms in later generations. Some say he is cruel, a tyrant, and foolish. Some people say that he even killed his brother, and his position was not right. Some people even say that it was a wrong move to kill by fighting to stop fighting, and many soldiers died in battle. But no matter what, he built the foundation of the Great Xia dynasty for eternity and forced the barbarians to withdraw from the 5 states of Great Xia. He was rarely defeated in his life. 1500 years after his death, he still guards this land. It's just that it's not that chaotic era anymore, it's as stable as the dream he had in his previous life before he died. He restrained all his sharpness and made himself ordinary and ordinary little by little. Who would know that 1,500 years ago, in that world of great competition, only the strong could survive? Yo, what about Daxiatai? Shenying hugged her arms and raised her eyebrows. Even if the rich and powerful from the 4 cities came to intercede with you today, you have to go down. Don't talk nonsense with her, Kenyon snorted coldly. I don't know this shit. She can make 3 families and 4 alliances come here, and she will be worth dying for. It's just nonsense. Feng San slapped him on the head. They are running for Miss Si, what does it have to do with her? Don't give her a coffee position. The 3 exchanged a few words casually, but it was as if a thunderous sound exploded in Qi Shunning's ear. 3 and 4 alliances. Qi Shunning's brain was buzzing. Who the hell is Si fucking, and why so many people came out to support Si fucking overnight? Daxiatai can't even protect her? Who is this man? Although they all say how powerful the big giants in the 4 cities are, the 3-year-old children of the Daxia Empire know that the 4 major alliances of the 3 major families are the real heaven. Even if Si fucking has a relationship with any of the 3-4 alliances, how can he still be so bad in the entertainment industry? Qi Shunning held his head and started screaming again. She doesn't believe, absolutely won't believe it. Why is Si fucking stronger than her? Shenying and Kenyoning lifted Qi Shunning up, completely ignoring her struggles, and took her to the big swimming pool by the balcony. And many more. A voice speaks. There was some hope in Qi Shunning's eyes. After a pause, Yu Ziyan spoke again. Don't die, just take a breath. Yu Ziyan said to take a breath, then it was really just a breath. Qi Shunning looked at the 2 handsome face, not surprised, but horrified. Understood. Kenyon was full of confidence. 9th brother, don't worry, our brothers are familiar with this matter. Let go of me. Let me go. Qi Shunning struggled again. I don't want to go down. You caught the wrong person, it has nothing to do with me. Si fucking has nothing to do with me because of the sea dragon role. You are an adult, you should be responsible for your actions. Shenying patted her face. Don't worry, these sharks taste good, don't eat sour meat, they will bite you a few times at most, but the smell of blood may attract other marine animals. I don't know if these animals will eat you, but don't worry, the Lord said, give you a breath. He let go of his hand and smiled unabated. Good luck to you. With a thump, Qi Shunning fell into the swimming pool. She broke down completely, screaming hysterically, you are devils. Devils. This movement has attracted 9 sharks around. They really didn't have any interest in Qi Shunning, they just bit her and didn't eat her. But their teeth are very sharp and penetrate deep into the skin, which is a bone-chilling pain. Qi Shunning couldn't resist at all. Shenying set up the camera and started recording. He sighed. Today is really busy enough, and I have to pass the video to Qin Junmen and Ling Meng. Taking a few days off to take out food can save you a lot of money. Qi Shunning was still screaming, extremely terrifying. The water was gradually reddened by the blood from her wound, and the sharks were still circling her. The swimming pool is also very deep. Although she can swim, she has no strength at all. Surrounded by sea water, Qi Shuning's nerves were completely oppressed. She had never been so desperate before. But once she lost her strength and sank, the young man who threw her into the sea would lift her up and give her some medicine, her strength would come back, and it would be hard to pass out. Qi Shuning's voice was hoarse, and his eyes were bloodshot. The wounds on his body are staggered and terrifying. She had never experienced something so terrible. The sound insulation here is very good, and there is no noise at all from Sci-fucking in the next bedroom. This woman has a vicious heart, Kenyon said. Let her experience what it's like to fall into the sea. She thought that cutting a seat belt could harm Miss Si, and she didn't know where the confidence came from. Shenying doesn't care about Qi Shuning, but only cares about one thing. You said that you did a good job this time, will the ninth brother give you some bonus? I don't know. Kenyon looked very innocent. Why don't you wait for Miss Si to wake up and ask Miss Si if she can give you some money? Shenying thought for a while, and nodded. It makes sense. Wait for Miss Si to wake up and let her watch it, maybe she can share some money with me. Kenyoning looking at the sky. Finally someone accompany him. He saw that Shenying was going to lose all his pants. Feng San walked behind Yuzian. Ninth brother, you said that Miss C's head is really okay. Yeah, Yuzian's voice was cool. I also know about money. Feng San. Ah, that's really fine. Would you like to inform others that Miss Si has been found? Feng San asked again. I think they are in a hurry. Notice Yuzian nodded. Don't come here, wait until she wakes up. Feng San nodded and went out to contact all parties. There are many people waiting online, especially the Musi army. Seeing that the Weibo of Sci-fucking and the program group had been silent, the Musi went crazy. Until the news came, Chao Huali finally began to celebrate. Woo woo oh, nothing's wrong. Thanks to the rescue team and to all those who rescued Ching Ching. I will definitely find it. I am in this town, don't you know, Qian Junmen and Feng family are here, of course they can get Ching Ching back. I am also here. I saw the flag of the Qinjun League, it is so handsome. It is a pity that no one can shoot Yin Huang and no one can act, otherwise I really want to see how graceful they were when they fought with Yin Huang 1,000 years ago. Thousand Army Alliance, my wife won't have anything to do with Qinjun League. How is that possible? The Qinjun League is already in charge of these matters. Ordinary residents will also rescue them, and there will be no exceptions because of a star. Laughs, it still matters. Why don't you say that she is the reincarnation of Emperor Yin who can order the 4 major alliances of the 3 major families? You should be more restrained if you escape from death. What are you crazy about? There are so many seniors in the entertainment industry, be careful when you kick the iron plate. Black fans' comments were quickly inundated. The Musas were so angry that they didn't set out, and their fighting power was soaring. Here at the hospital, the fishermen who were rescued by Sci-fucking were also relieved, and they had made an appointment to deliver some homemade souvenirs to Sci-fucking when they were discharged from the hospital. Lobby. Zhang Shuiyan made the Qinjun League people begin to evacuate. Captain in front of him, Shang Lu lowered his head. It's all my fault, I didn't follow Miss Si. He has been living at Jiang's house these days. After all, the assessment of the Divine Doctor League has just ended, and the 4 members of the Zhang family are in the limelight. In order to prevent people like Fang Mingquan from being malicious, Sci-fucking asked him to protect Zhang Changning's family. Who would have thought that there would be a cancer like Qi Shuning who kills others for his own selfish desires? People's hearts are unpredictable. Zhang Shuiyan shook his head and hesitated, the Lord in the mouth just now. It's Miss C's boss, Shang Lu said hurriedly, the surname is Yu. Zhang Shuiyan raised his eyebrows, Yu. The surname Yu is rare but very big. After all, it is the #1 wealthy family in the 4 cities, and its reputation is still extremely loud. But in the eyes of the 3 major families and the 4 major alliances, it is far from enough. I think he's very mysterious, and he doesn't look like the Yu family I've ever met. Shang Lu scratched his head. I've only met him a few times anyway, and every time I want to kneel down for him, he's too strong. Captain, maybe it's also an evolutionary, I don't know. Zhang Shuiyan thought thoughtfully, is that so? After a pause, he smiled slightly, if there is a chance, I will definitely meet. He raised his head and looked at several search and rescue planes flying away from the window. Others can't recognize it, but Zhang Shuiyan will not be ignorant. Such seemingly ordinary but extremely practical equipment can only be the style of the Mo family. Protecting civilians is indeed the responsibility of the Qinjun League. The Feng family is close, so naturally they have to come forward. The sea tornado was maliciously created, and the occult authority must also take action. Comrade. Zhang Shuiyan's eyes darkened little by little. He retracted his gaze and called Mu Qingmeng, Madam, Miss Si is fine, but she is still recuperating. I plan to stay for a few more days, please take care of yourself, madam. On the other side, the junction of Dongling Sea and Nanwu Sea. Xia Yangkai also received a call, and she breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Ching Ching is fine, another turtle grandson has also been caught, and we must interrogate him well. Xia Yangkai and Ji Xingzi went out at the same time, and it was no problem to clean up an onmyoji. Ji Xingzi blocked the power of the 5 elements of yin and yang in the body of the onmyoji, and the sea tornado stopped. Fortunately, everyone was rescued by Si fucking, otherwise the sea tornado this time would have killed or injured at least 100 people. Xia Yangkai stepped on the fainted onmyoji with his feet, and said coldly, a wicked bitch. His heart can be punished. It's really a dog thing, Ji Xingzi agreed while looking at Xia Yangkai. The hot-tempered eldest sister of the Lingmeng does look a bit like his eldest brother. But there are many similar people in the world. He also has a crush on people who look like him. Humph, I haven't done anything for a long time, and I'm worried that I can't move my hands. When I dozed off, someone sent a pillow. Xia Yangkai raised his chin, do you want to see which family he is from, or a loose cultivator? Ji Xingzi checked it, Fujiyama. Tengshan, Xia Yangkai frowned, the Yin-Yang family ranked first in Dongsang. It's them, these shameless bunch, Ji Xingzi was indignant, I knew I should have bombed their ancestral graves, an ancestral hall is not enough to teach them a lesson. He actually killed his big brother. Good boy. Xia Yangkai was shocked, is it you who made the news a while ago? She thought it was the onmyoji of the Fujiyama family who had done too many bad things, and the ancestral hall would catch fire. That's not right. Ji Xingzi was triumphant, I also blew up the Sakai family's treasure house. Not bad. Xia Yangkai nodded, boy, are you interested in joining the occult authority? We are highly paid. Ji Xingzi recalled Xia Yangkai's method, and the corner of his mouth twitched, look, I am Ji's family, and my grandfather is the only one like me. That's right. Xia Yangkai sighed, I have to leave the Ji family behind anyway. She was a little worried. I don't know where to find enough people. Okay, then you can go back with your own board. Xia Yangkai said, I took this turtle grandson away. Ji Xingzi. It is hundreds of kilometers away from Nanzhou. When will he have to paddle? He is really just a tool man. In such a comparison, his big brother is still good to him. Ji Xingzi could only put the longboard back into the water and return without any love. At this time, the capital city of the North State. A very ordinary residential building. Woman is watching TV while sitting on the sofa. The door was opened, and a man walked in and saw her frowning. What news are you watching? There was a sea tornado in Nanzhou. The woman sighed. Fortunately, no one died. There have been several disasters like this last year. It's really worrying. Life is impermanent. The man watched the screen of the sea tornado playing on the TV. He pursed his lower lip and comforted softly, don't worry, these are handled by special departments. What department? The woman smiled. You don't really say there is a supernatural authority, do you? It's all from the movies, and this is a natural disaster. What does it have to do with the supernatural? The man shook his head and smiled. It doesn't matter, we are ordinary people, and ordinary people are fine. Ian come back soon. The woman glanced at the time and sighed again. He's in the 3rd year of school, and his grades can't be improved. It's not just learning. The man was optimistic. Let's see what he wants to do in the future. The voice of the hostess came from the TV. From this newspaper, the reporter in front has received news that Miss Sci-fi is receiving treatment in the hospital and is currently safe. According to the rescued fishermen, at the critical moment, it was Miss Sci-fi who rescued them, and we will continue to follow up. A picture of Sci-fi appeared on the TV screen. Rare face photo, still without makeup, without makeup. This little girl is really amazing. She can actually save so many people. The man just glanced at random, and the next second, his eyes were fixed on the TV, and he lost his voice. She. The woman was stunned for a while, then got up quickly, and went to the bookshelf to get a photo frame that had been sitting there. It was a photo of 2 people. Good morning. My 4th son-in-law is really handsome.